Chapter 1341 Purple Blood River Traps Wu Yong. I can locate the 7 illusions demon Immortal. Tai Mian Shen's words eased Wu Yong's frown. As it turned out, after capturing 7 illusions demon Immortal, Tai clan had started to make arrangements against the 7 illusions true inheritance. Among the southern border super forces, Tai clan was the force that targeted the demonic path most fiercely. Especially after they built the demon suppression tower, they were the pillar of the righteous path in pursuing demonic path GU immortals. Right now, Tai Mian Shen was using his immortal killer move to investigate the area for clues. This way, after finding the direction, Tai Mian Shen flew towards the east. Wu Yong and Chao Ji Kai looked at each other for a second before following after him. The clues were broken, but found again time after time. With the experienced Tai Mian Shen leading the way, the 3 immortals had great progress. But an hour later, they returned to the blood-tide pit. Chao Ji Kai was shocked. Why are we back here? Tai Mian Shen smiled coldly. The most dangerous place is the safest place. Chao Ji Kai reacted as he praised. Such guts. Wu Yong looked around coldly. After a few breaths, his gaze was locked onto an area in the blood-tide pit. Roar. The peaceful lake suddenly raged with waves. Countless blood beasts emerged from it. Large numbers of desolate-level blood beasts, with a small number of ancient blood beasts, formed into an army as they charged at Wu Yong and the others fiercely. Blood beasts were a type of path beast. They did not reproduce normally, but were born from heaven and earth, created using natural blood path Dao marks. Similar to blood beasts were snow monsters, mud monsters, cloud beasts, soul beasts, year beasts, and rock dragons. Blood Tide Pit had such an incredible thing. A blood beast breeding ground. Tai Mian Shen said softly as he looked at Wu Yong. Wu Yong expressed surprise on his face. Blood Tide Pit contained a true inheritance of Blood Sea ancestor. It was obtained by mortal GU master Shang Yanfei, and was later taken by Wu clan. Wu clan turned the Blood Tide Pit into their possession, and explored it, but did not find anything special. It was only treated as a resource point after that. So many blood beasts in ambush, no wonder the 7 illusions demon Immortal is hiding here. Chao Ji Kai said. Blood beasts formed into an army and attacked. They had all sorts of forms. Some had tiger heads and horse bodies, some had snake heads and rabbit bodies, some had tortoise shells and dragon tails, some were like trees, while some were giant fruits. The pungent smell of blood assaulted the nose as these blood beasts growled sinisterly. This force suddenly attacked. Even super clans would be caught off guard. But Chao Ji Kai's and Tai Mian Shen's expressions were unchanged. They did not intend to retreat. Because at this moment, Wu Yong was standing in front of them. A bunch of trash. Wu Yong snorted, rage flickering in his eyes. He was very angry, because during this period, he was staying in Wu clan, deploying members everywhere to deal with all sorts of situations. He was extremely repressed. And now, this 7 illusions demon Immortal had vile intentions. They actually caused the deaths of Wu clans Wu Yuanju and Rong Hao. Tiny traces of wind was gathering around him. The gentle green wind had unknowingly surrounded the growling blood beasts as well. The blood beasts were still rampaging. Their speed did not fall at all. Just when they were about to reach the 3 immortals, blood beasts started to explode. The explosions were not loud. They were very gentle, like the bursting of bubbles. Blood beasts detonated one after another. Even though they were close to the immortals, they were no threat, unable to deal any damage. The growling and attack was like a joke. Hundreds of rank 6 battle strength and dozens of rank 7 battle strength beasts had disintegrated in front of Wu Yong, fragile like toys made of paper. This was the power of a rank 8. What immortal killer move is this? The aura is completely concealed. I cannot detect anything. Chao Ji Kai was full of shock. Tai Mian Shen had a solemn expression, staring at Wu Yong's back. Wu Yong's expression was dark. He stared at the blood tide below him. The blood beasts did not form out of nothing. The blood tide had dried out. The blood tide pit that was oozing with blood earlier was now drying up. Chao Ji Kai sighed. It was a pity. He could see that the dense blood path Dao marks in blood tide pit had vanished. From now on, blood tide pit no longer existed. It was only an ordinary pit now. Wu Yong did not care. This pit, unfathomable to the eyes of normal people, was completely exposed to him. A rainbow-colored figure appeared in Wu Yong's investigative range. You are the daring person who is trying to challenge Wu clan's authority. Wu Yong said calmly, but everyone could hear his killing intent and rage. The mysterious GU immortal in the pit smiled bitterly. Lord Wu Yong, I had no choice, I was forced to. Now I seek your understanding. Wu Yong's expression changed. At the next moment, his environment changed abruptly. The blue sky and mountainous ground had vanished, the surroundings had turned into a color of purple. The three immortals could not sense their distances, their sense of space had been severely disrupted. Rumble. Tides could be heard, the blood beasts that were destroyed earlier turned into bloody water as they gathered into a river, flowing below the three immortals. The blood-colored waves and ripples appeared, countless purple thoughts rained down and assaulted the immortals. Damn it! These blood beasts were just the prelude and trap. So vicious. Chao Ji Kai cursed. Tai Mi and Shen looked around nervously. What immortal battlefield killer move is this? Is it a super GU formation? With his investigative abilities, he could not see through this place. Wu Yong was unhappy, he snorted coldly and waved his sleeves. Boom! Intense winds blew as a giant tornado surrounded the range of 1 li, encircling the three immortals. Purple thoughts rained down furiously, landing on the ball of wind as they splattered, but could not break the defense. Wu Yong did not move, his expression was cold, he raised his right arm and flicked. A crisp sound echoed. A dark jade worm flew out of his fingertips. The small worm got out of the ball of wind and flew towards the blood river rapidly. While flying, it grew larger as its body expanded to 10 feet, 50 feet, 150 feet. After a few breaths of time, it turned into a vicious wind dragon that was 220 feet long, it bared its fangs and claws, breaking the rain of purple thoughts, crashing into the blood river. The blood river gushed and formed a spiral, trying to devour the wind dragon like a giant beast. Wu Yong's eyes flashed with a green light, the wind dragon roared and turned into countless jade wind blades, shooting everywhere. The blood river spiral was broken by the wind blades, but the wind blades continued to cut as the red blood river was split into two. Chao Ji Kai and Tai Mi and Shen watched with wide-opened eyes, they had shocked and chaotic emotions. Wu Yong's every attack was an immortal killer move with outstanding power, far beyond rank 7. If they were his opponent, they would not last for a move. Wu Yong could actually use such a powerful immortal killer moves, it was like his instinct, it was as easy as breathing. Every killer move of Lord Wu Yong had its aura concealed to the limit, he was truly hiding his strength. Chao Ji Kai's heart was still in a commotion. This wind dragon killer move actually has a second style variation move, turning into countless wind blades. Wu Yong is definitely not as useless as the rumors say, he has such incredible battle strength, this person is hiding so deeply. Tai Mi and Shen's eyes shone with brilliance. He looked at Wu Yong's back, feeling glad that Tai clan and Wu clan were allies, they had not turned on each other. Wu Dushu and Wu Yong were mother and son, the former was like a fierce wind blowing on the top of a mountain, while the latter was a powerful tornado at the bottom of a valley. They acted differently and had opposite personalities, but they were equally powerful and domineering. However, even with Wu Yong's fierce attacks, the surroundings did not change. The split river turned into two, expanding and forming two blood rivers, both were equally big as before. Chao Ji Kai's expression changed, to be able to remain under the attack of a rank 8 GU immortal and trap all three of them, what sort of method was this? His doubts did not last long, because a figure soon emerged from the blood river, speaking and giving them the answer. This is my purple blood river formation. Wu Yong, if you do not use the 2 rank 8 immortal GU that your mother left you, with just that rank 8 gentle wind GU, you cannot break this formation. Purple Mountain True Monarch said. He was not in his miniman body, he was as large as a human now. When he spoke, his body rose up as an island, floated below his feet. Chao Ji Kai and Tai Mi and Shen's expressions changed, Wu Yong was also moved. This was because Purple Mountain True Monarch did not conceal his aura, he was undoubtedly a rank 8. Who are you? What do you want? Wu Yong called out. Purple Mountain True Monarch smiled, looking at Wu Yong with his clear purple eyes, of course, it is to kill you. Once you are dead, Wu clan will go into a commotion, other clans will attack it, it will break apart. Wu Yong was stunned, he suddenly laughed as he raised his head. He was laughing from anger. After laughing, he lowered his head, a fierce light shooting out of his eyes. Such guts, in that case, I will kill you and raise my prestige as a rank 8. Saying this, a strong aura burst out of his body. Countless GU worms were activated in his immortal aperture. Chao Ji Kai and Tai Mi and Shen both retreated, they could feel unparalleled threat coming from Wu Yong's body. Purple Mountain True Monarch's smile faded. Wu Yong's immortal killer moves earlier were undetectable, their auras were concealed completely. But now, the immortal killer move he was conjuring had incredible aura, it was like a raging storm. From this perspective, Wu Yong was using his full strength to fight. What immortal killer move was it that made Wu Yong unable to conceal the aura? No matter what killer move it was, once activated, an incredible power would be unleashed, the might would be unstoppable. How could this be allowed? At Purple Mountain True Monarch's will, countless purple thoughts burst out like a storm, gushing out. Wu Clan. Ancestral Hall. This. The Wu Clan Gu Immortal guarding the Ancestral Hall had a change of expression as sweat rolled down his face, his expression was deathly pale. He shouted in shock. Lord Wu Yong's life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu were destroyed. Lord Wu Yong, is he dead? Chapter 1342. With elder brother gone, younger brother takes over. Ancestral Hall. The Ancestral Hall on top of Wu Yi Mountain was a mortal Gu house. Using a large number of rank 5 mortal Gu, even though it was inferior to immortal Gu houses, it was extremely significant to Wu Clan. Essentially, every super force and normal force would have an Ancestral Hall. Inside, life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu would be used, or even blood rope Gu. The former two were common, while blood rope Gu was rare, because it was blood path. Even the small and big sects in Central Continent had buildings similar to the Ancestral Hall, storing life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu. At this moment, Wu Ba Chong was standing in the Ancestral Hall, looking at the Gu worm fragments blankly. After the life tablet Gu shattered, it would be like wood scraps, while soul lantern Gu would become a cracked ladybird, it would not be shining with a dark blue light anymore. Wu Ba Chong was old, but he had a muscular body resembling a bear, his hair was white and his nose was wide, he had thick brows and sharp eyes, he was a steady and responsible person. He was the second supreme elder of Wu Clan, he had gone through many ordeals, resulting in his calm nature, but now, his forehead was full of sweat, his breathing was ragged, his gaze was chaotic and in a mess. Lord Wu Yong died. Wu Ba Chong stared at the two mortal Gu fragments, he had already stood here for a while, but his mind was in a mess. How could this happen? A great rank 8 existence, the pillar of our Wu Clan, he died like this. Wu Ba Chong did not dare to imagine this or believe it. Did Lord Wu Yong die or not? He kept asking himself. After all, life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu were mortal Gu, it was possible to interfere with them using some methods. But Wu Yong was uncontactable now, no matter how Wu Clan tried to communicate with him, none got through, this was an undeniable fact. Regardless of whether or not Wu Yong was dead, his situation was definitely not good. Being able to make a rank 8 Gu immortal end up in such a state, who is it? A rank 8 existence among the demonic path and lone cultivators. Or is it the other super clans, are they collaborating to deal with our Wu Clan? Wu Ba Chong continued to guess. The more he thought, the more messy his mind was. Wu Dushu died, Wu Yong went missing, in this huge Wu Clan, the #1 super clan in southern border, there was actually no rank 8 existence guarding it now. This was a severe situation, Wu Clan was in a disastrous state, and the most fearful thing was, the perpetrator was still unknown. After his shocked emotions returned to normal, fear and loss filled Wu Ba Chong's heart. Normally, there was Wu Dushu or Wu Yong suppressing the situation, he did not feel anything. But now that the two rank 8 great experts were gone, Wu Ba Chong realized that his stable and firm shoulders could not bear the weight of Wu Clan. During Wu Dushu's era, he was the second supreme elder, after Wu Yong ascended to her role, he continued to assist him. In terms of seniority, he was among the oldest and most experienced southern border righteous path Gu immortals. However, it was pointless. He was only rank 7 in cultivation level, his battle strength was not outstanding, if he fought against old Treeman Bada, he could not win. Even among Wu Clan, there were many rank 7 Gu immortals who could fight him evenly. However, he was the first person to return among Wu Clan's higher-ups. Thus, he had the initiative. What do I do? Even if Lord Wu Yong is not dead, he has gone missing and his life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu have shattered, once news gets out, there would be a huge commotion, everyone's hearts would waver. Should I hide the information? Wu Ba Chong quickly shook his head. This shocking news had already been exposed to many Wu Clan Gu immortals by the Wu Clan rank 6 Gu immortal who was guarding the place. If Wu Yong was confirmed to be dead, the mastermind who attacked Wu Clan would not give up this chance to target their morale. Thus, he could not seal this news even if he wanted to. Is the matter at hand to find the missing Lord Wu Yong, or should we shrink our defensive lines and recall the supreme elders who are outside to guard our base? Wu Ba Chong frowned. Both choices were dangerous. Searching for Wu Yong would definitely be dangerous, to be able to destroy Wu Yong's life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu and have him disappear, the mastermind was definitely powerful. Sending rank 7 Gu immortals to find him was like sending sheep to a tiger. And if they retracted their defensive lines and called back the elders, it would be a huge political loss, many of their resource points would be lost. If the surrounding super forces tried to take over at this time, Wu clan would suffer immense losses. What should he do? Wu Ba-chong was hesitant, he was stuck between two tough options. After a long time, he licked his dry lips, he decided to put both options on hold. He was going to hold a meeting with the Wu clan Gu Immortals as the second supreme elder, they would execute the plan after coming to a consensus. Wu Yong was missing and uncontactable, a huge storm surrounding Wu clan was quietly forming. Southern border, Super Gu formation. Fang Yuan sat on his bed, cultivating with his eyes closed, he was multitasking as he listened to Lady White Rabbit's report. Lady White Rabbit had inherited the White Rabbit true inheritance. This true inheritance was quite famous in southern border, the inheritor had to be pure-hearted. And when they cultivate in the future, they had to maintain the same pure-heartedness. Otherwise, most of the true inheritance's methods could not be used, using them forcefully would result in backlash. Precisely so, Lady White Rabbit was naturally trustworthy, she was a popular person among lone immortals and demonic cultivators. Wuan had noticed this initially, thus he convinced Lady White Rabbit to be the intermediary in hosting this immortal opportunity business. Once in a while, Lady White Rabbit would enter the Super Gu formation and report the situation of the immortal opportunity business to Fang Yuan. Even though Fang Yuan did not gain any benefits from the immortal opportunity business, he listened to the business situation as it could help him learn about the changes in the area surrounding the giant dream realm. Lady White Rabbit spoke softly, her voice was like smooth water, she reported with a gentle gaze on Fang Yuan's face. Fang Yuan was in Wu Yihai's appearance now, his face was handsome, his nose was tall and wide, his manly heroic aura was completely displayed. Lady White Rabbit had fallen for him already, she purposely spoke slowly, treasuring this precious time she could spend with Fang Yuan alone. Unfortunately, each time Fang Yuan met with her, he spoke only twice, the first sentence was to ask Lady White Rabbit to sit as she gave her report, and the second was for her to leave. But even so, Lady White Rabbit was very satisfied. She knew deeply that Wu Yihai had a high status, she felt like she was a lowly person and could not match Fang Yuan. She was very happy to spend this time with him once in a while, she felt very blissful. Right at this time, Lady White Rabbit's voice halted. Because she saw Fang Yuan's expression change. This situation was very rare, Lady White Rabbit's heart clenched, what happened to Wu Yihai? Did he encounter any problems? Fang Yuan gradually shut his eyes, willing as he opened the hall. Yihai, at this point in time, you still have the mood to relax and spend time with a woman. A female immortal barged into the hall. Lady White Rabbit turned around and looked, this was a young woman wearing green clothing with wavy sleeves. Her skin was smooth like snow, her body was curvy and she resembled a delicate willow. She had an extremely beautiful face, especially her attractive eyes, concealed by her long eyelashes, they seemed clear as water. She is Chao Clan's Chao Si Lu. Lady White Rabbit recognized this person as she flustered, lowering her gaze in panic. She knew this person's relationship with Fang Yuan. Some time ago, there were rumors about Fang Yuan and Chao Si Lu circulating around. Fairy Si Lu is so beautiful, as expected of one of the top 3 fairies in southern border. Only someone like this can be with Lord Wu Yihai. Lady White Rabbit thought this, as she felt pain in her heart nurturing and fermenting. Chao Si Lu took a look at Lady White Rabbit who was lowering her head, she seemed to be nonchalant but she was actually very attentive. Chao Si Lu was trying to seduce Wu Yihai into becoming Chao Clan's son-in-law, Chao Si Lu had to look at all of Fang Yuan's information. And in Fang Yuan's information, Lady White Rabbit was present. This was the first time Chao Si Lu was meeting Lady White Rabbit. She saw that Lady White Rabbit had a delicate body, her eyes were like rubies, she had fluffy rabbit ears that were drooping, her eyes were looking down, it was cute and endearing. Even though under close examination, her appearance was slightly inferior to Chao Si Lu, men loved these tiny pitiful creatures that were full of cuteness. But now is not the time to deal with her. Chao Si Lu snorted internally, passing White Rabbit as she went up to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had opened his eyes, standing up from his bed as he smiled towards Chao Si Lu. Fairy, this sudden visit is truly joyful. Lady White Rabbit looked at Fang Yuan in a daze, thinking, Wu Yihai is smiling again, I have not seen him smile for a long time. He looks like the sun shining in spring when he smiles, if only he could smile at me. Chao Si Lu looked at Fang Yuan, disregarding pleasantries, it seems you really do not know. Sigh, my next words will only be shocking, there is no joy. Fang Yuan's expression changed, what happened? Chao Silu did not answer him. She turned around and said to Lady White Rabbit, "Little lady, please leave first, I need to talk to your lord." "What?" Lady White Rabbit was dazed. Fang Yuan waved his hand. "White Rabbit, please." Lady White Rabbit did not dare to defy Fang Yuan, she acknowledged as she left the hall. As the doors closed, Chao Silu said, "Wu Yong is missing, his life tablet GU and soul lantern GU are destroyed. News has not spread in southern border yet, but Wu clan is in chaos now." "What?" Fang Yuan was deeply shocked. This was simply too shocking. With the destruction of his life tablet GU and soul lantern GU, Wu Yong was likely to have died. He was the pillar of Wu clan. If he died, would Wu clan be able to defend its territories? Chao Silu continued, "Yi Hai, I am here to lend you a hand. You are Wu Yong's brother, the person closest to him in bloodline, and you have sufficient cultivation level. With Wu Yong gone, you have to take over as first supreme elder. From today onwards, you will hold the authority of Wu clan." Chapter 1343. Gaining authority without even moving. Taking over Wu clan. Chao Silu's words made Fang Yuan moved. How could he not be moved? After all, Wu clan was a super force, and it was not an ordinary super force, it was already very powerful, having the #1 position for years after years in southern borders history. Wu clan had a huge territory with all sorts of resource points, it had a deep foundation and an incredible rich treasury. If he could control this super force, becoming the person with the highest authority, Fang Yuan's future cultivation resources would be unrestricted. Right now, Fang Yuan had a lot of assets. The trading of Danghun Mountain's guts GU, dragonfish, regretful spiders, eerie fire dragon pythons, star fragment grass, star dart GU, star river GU, stellar fire GU, falling meteor GU, as well as the spirit snake trade which had started recently. It was not an exaggeration to say that Fang Yuan was raking in gold every day. If the rest of the resources in Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture were included, he had an ordinary rank 8 GU Immortal's foundation. If he also included Langya Blessed Land's Wisdom GU, and Danghun Mountain located inside it, and City Well in the turbulent Flow Sea area, Fang Yuan had surpassed ordinary rank 8 GU Immortals. But he paled in comparison if he placed his resources against those of a super force. Any super force had an incredibly deep foundation, even if they currently did not have a rank 8 great expert, they had them in history. In addition to the resource points that the super forces controlled in the 5 regions, Fang Yuan's assets were truly inferior in comparison. For example, Wu clan's blood tide pit produced more profits than Fang Yuan's dragonfish transactions. Wu clan had 20 to 30 resource points similar to blood tide pit. And resource points inferior to blood tide pit, like Northern Plains Lu tribe's bone burial field or jade light pit, were countless. There were also about 10 top-tier resource points better than blood tide pit. And don't forget, the resources in the immortal apertures of Wu clan's GU Immortals, and also the blessed lands and grotto heavens of Wu clan's predecessors. Of course, super forces had lots of earnings and also spending. Wu clan was currently in a state of having more assets than manpower, they were barely able to defend these resources when Wu Yong was around. But with him gone, they were sure to have losses, they had to give up some. But even so, if Fang Yuan could control Wu clan, his gains would be immense, far beyond him working alone. Fang Yuan quickly calmed down. He took a look at Chao Silu, immediately realizing her intention. Like what Chao Silu said, with Wu Yong gone, the role of Wu Yihai, whom Fang Yuan was acting as, was the best choice of becoming Wu clan's first supreme elder. This was an unbelievably rare chance. Fang Yuan did not doubt that Chao Silu was speaking the truth, because it was too easy to verify. Chao Silu was here in a rush, she showed her sincerity. Fang Yuan frowned and smiled bitterly, such a huge thing happened. I had no idea. The urgent matter at hand is to get back to Wu clan. Wu Ba Chong has already gathered the supreme elders, many GU Immortals have already returned, even if they did not return, their wills are present. But they purposely left you out, I wonder what their intentions were. Chao Silu said anxiously. Using Wu Yihai was the best chance that Chao clan had in interfering with Wu clan. Fang Yuan sighed deeply. Sigh. I have only been in Wu clan for a short time, I have no foundation or network. It is too difficult to take over and become the first supreme elder. They purposely left me out, it shows that my chances are way too slim. No, you have a big chance. Yihai, don't forget that you have me, Chao clan is backing you up. Chao Silu looked at Fang Yuan with deep emotions. Fang Yuan blinked. How will Chao clan help me? What will Lord Chao Ji Kai do? Chao Silu's expression froze. She hesitated for a while, but she did not dare to hide it from Fang Yuan. She said the truth. Our first Supreme Elder went with Lord Wuyong. He has vanished as well. His life tablet GU broke and we cannot contact him. Other than them, Tai clans Tai Mi and Shen also went missing. They were investigating the deaths of Wu Yuanju and Rong Hao, but now we do not know if they are alive or not. Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk. What is going on? Chao Silu smiled bitterly. Trust me, this is all I know. Fang Yuan showed hesitation. Such a shocking event, we cannot hide it from the world for long. Who was it? Without Lord Chao Ji Kai, how will Chao clan help me? Don't worry about that. Chao clan has already come to a consensus. I am the chosen representative. Chao Silu said. Fang Yuan was slightly shocked. Chao clan was the weakest among southern borders super forces. Despite that, they were united. Even with Chao Ji Kai missing, they still carried out their plans accordingly. As expected, any super force had its extraordinary aspect. But Fang Yuan did not want to go. He sensed that there were undercurrents brewing a huge vortex. The mastermind was a powerful force. Even if he took over as Wu clan's first Supreme Elder, so what? No resources could match his gains in exploring dream realms. Fang Yuan did not need more resources, he needed attainment level from the dream realms. The latter was the truly precious fortuitous encounter. Even if he became Wu clan's most authoritative figure, which was alluring and beneficial to him, Fang Yuan knew that there were countless choices in life. If one wanted to progress further, they could not be blinded by profits, they needed to be clear about what were the most important things. Once I become first Supreme Elder, I would need to return to the clan and hold the fort, back at Wuyi Mountain. How can I leave the giant dream realm? I had put in so much effort to come here. But rejecting Chao Silu is not wise. If I anger Chao clan and ruin our relationship, I will gain nothing. But the most important thing is, in the eyes of everyone, if I stay here and do not return to gain control of the clan, it would be very strange and suspicious. After all, I also displayed a level of political ambition earlier. Fang Yuan thought as he paced around the hall. Chao Silu was stomping her feet in anxiety. Yi Hai, why are you hesitating? This is too shocking, I need some time to think. Fang Yuan waved his hand. There is no time, we need to leave now, you can think along the way. Chao Silu said. No, this is not as simple as you think. Fang Yuan shook his head, having a grim expression. Do you know? You have already fallen for their trap. Chao Silu was stunned. What? Fang Yuan said. If we return openly like this, what would Wu clan's supreme elders think? They are not stupid. If I, Wu Yihai, goes back with Chao clan and take over as first supreme elder, leaving my brother in the lurch and instead, bringing in outsiders to fight for benefits in the clan, the entire clan will be torn apart. Without sufficient strength and reputation, how can I take over as first supreme elder? Chao Silu blinked, thinking. Wu Yihai's words made sense. Then do we stay here while Wu Ba-chong controls the situation and takes over as first supreme elder? Chao Silu retorted. Fang Yuan thought that this Chao Silu was not easy to get rid of, but he smiled. We can wait, there is no rush. No rush. Chao Silu stared with wide eyes. Fang Yuan's smile deepened. He looked at Chao Silu with a sharp gaze. I believe that even if I do not return, Wu Ba-chong cannot control the situation, am I wrong? Chao Silu was stunned again. Wu clan, discussion hall. Boom. Wu Ba-chong slammed the table, dust flew upwards from the damage. He shouted. Wu Chao Wan, what do you mean? No matter what suggestions I bring up, you object, are you trying to find trouble with me? Wu Chao smiled coldly, standing in the middle of the hall as he looked at Wu Ba-chong. Second Supreme Elder, you are too hasty. We do not know if Lord Wu Yong is dead or alive, just the life tablet GU and soul lantern GU cannot determine it. Look at you, you are sitting in his seat already, I was warning you earlier out of kindness, you should sit in your own seat. Supreme Elder Wu Chao, Wu clan is in grave danger now, we should discuss the important matters and not bother with these small details. I feel that there is no issue with Lord Wu Ba-chong leading the discussion, he is the second Supreme Elder after all. And now, Wu clan needs a leader. Do you think we do not know what intentions you have, Wu Chao? I just want to remind you, you are a Wu clansman, not a Chao clansman. In the hall, some GU immortals spoke, helping Wu Ba-chong target Wu Chao. Wu Chao sneered. In terms of bloodline, the most qualified person to become first Supreme Elder is Lord Wu Yihai. Should the second Supreme Elder take over the position? Are we in a central continent sect? There was silence. That makes sense. As clans, we emphasize on bloodline. Why did Wu Yihai not come? Wu Ba-chong, did you inform him? Some GU immortals spoke out, most of them were defending their territories, only their wills were participating in this. Wu Ba-chong observed their expressions, even though he showed anger on his face, he was calm as ice in his heart. I did not succeed, he sighed internally. On the surface, he stood up, patting his forehead as he sighed. I was rash, I was too worried about the clan. You are right, Lord Wu Yihai should be leading us, I will welcome his return. I am willing to listen to him. Once he said that, the GU immortals were shocked. Wu Chao was also evidently surprised. What was this Wu Ba-chong planning? The contents of Wu clan's discussions soon got to Fang Yuan. Chao Silu showed joy as she looked at Fang Yuan. Great, even though we did not return, we can still take over Wu clan. Fang Yuan had a grim expression, the situation was progressing at an unpleasant rate. Wu Chao's actions were understandable. After all, this former Wu clan third supreme elder was already bribed by Chao clan. But Wu Ba-chong's action of taking a step back was truly brilliant, Fang Yuan was quite impressed. The situation is not good. Fang Yuan shook his head and sighed. Chapter 1344. Troubled Thoughts, Clear Jade Dripping Wind Building. What is it? Chao Silu did not understand. Fang Yuan did not answer her, he paced around, using wisdom path methods as he fell into deep thought. The situation was very complex now, the mastermind was hidden, while Wu Yong was missing, everything was shrouded in mystery. But Fang Yuan had no choice but to decide his course of action now. He had no choice. Fang Yuan could deeply feel how helpless he was in this situation. Wu clan's GU immortals, Chao clan's GU immortals, as well as Southern Border's situation and the mastermind, they all forced him to leave the Super GU formation. This was the helplessness of the righteous path. Fang Yuan was faced with a difficult test. He did not want to be a chess piece of Chao clan and Wu clan, he wanted to keep his benefits amidst this complex situation. What to do? Fang Yuan had already guessed Wu Ba-chong's intention and desire. Maybe I can make use of this. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan decided to make use of it. He stopped walking around, he faced Chao Silu. Since they want me to lead the clan, I will give my orders. Yihai, this is the demeanor of a heroic man. Chao Silu's eyes shone, she praised. Fang Yuan continued. With the mastermind hidden, we need to play safe now. I will order Wu clan's GU immortals to give up on the faraway resource points and return to Wu Yi Mountain. We will activate our immortal GU houses to defend against the unknown. Chao Silu was very satisfied with Fang Yuan's action. Fang Yuan informed her of his thoughts regarding Wu clan's internal affairs, he did not treat her as an outsider. Chao Silu was joyful, she said, this is the best method to play safe. But it is a severe loss, by giving up the defense of so many resource points, the surrounding super forces will take over them. We have no choice, Wu clan's strength is too dispersed, with this uncertain situation, we can only regroup and defend against future challenges. Fang Yuan sighed. That makes sense too, let's go, we should return to Wu Yi Mountain. Chao Silu approved of Fang Yuan's idea, she said. Fang Yuan shook his head. No, we are not leaving. This will be too dangerous. Even my brother was ambushed, we are just rank 7, wouldn't that mastermind easily deal with us? If this mastermind wants to deal with Wu clan, their next target is me. How can I leave now? The route back to Wu clan is too dangerous. Fang Yuan's excuse was very reasonable. Chao Silu's expression turned grim, nodding, that is true. We need to be safer, it will be best if we can be escorted by an immortal GU house. After spending so much effort, he finally convinced Chao Silu. Fang Yuan let out a sigh of relief. But he was still frowning. He had finally managed to stay in the Super GU formation, but now, how long could it continue? Wu Yong's survival was uncertain, this situation made even Fang Yuan, who knew about certain future events, feel helpless. Inside the Purple Blood River formation, there were over a dozen blood rivers now. In this dim place, countless purple thoughts were pouring out unceasingly. Tai Mi and Shen shouted loudly, iron sand that resembled fog was surrounding him, forming a huge veil that defended him. But the purple thoughts turned from solid to phantom, entering the iron sand veil towards Tai Mi and Shen unobstructed. Damn it, Tai Mi and Shen gritted his teeth, he had no options against such a phantom path method. But at the moment of crisis, a clear wind blew. The purple thoughts that had turned into phantom burst like bubbles. So close, Tai Mi and Shen looked around, giving Wu Yong a look of gratitude. Purple thoughts formed into a storm around Wu Yong, there were countless blood beasts mixed among them. But even in this intense battle, Wu Yong was uninjured, he still had the spare energy to take care of Tai Mi and Shen and Chao Ji Kai, who were far away in the battlefield. This purple blood river formation has phantom path effects. If we do not get rid of the ruined bat corpses, these phantom path effects will not end. Chao Ji Kai shouted. He needed to shout, because voice transmissions would not work here. Wisdom path methods like communicating with thoughts were also unusable. Tai Mian Shen had a cold gaze, sharp as a dagger. He looked around and saw that there were 30 to 40 ruined bat corpses. Most were desolate level, but there were some ancient ruined bats and even an immemorial ruined bat, defended by 2 blood rivers. In fact, at this point, Tai Mian Shen could understand some things already. These ruined bat corpses were rapidly melted in the blood river. Especially when the purple thoughts turned from solid to phantom, these ruined bat corpses were being consumed at a rapid rate. But so what if he knew about the importance of the ruined bat corpses? Not long after they fought, that rank 8 GU Immortal Purple Mountain True Monarch had vanished. Wu Yong was greatly restricted now. He was defending against Purple Mountain True Monarch's sneak attack. It is unwise to get Lord Wu Yong to destroy the ruined bat corpses. That purple-haired rank 8 will use it to his advantage. In this situation, Chao Ji Kai and I need to work together to clear the ruined bat corpses. If that purple-haired enemy attacks, Lord Wu Yong would be able to block him and save our lives. But what if he could not? Or rather, even if he could save their lives, if he had to give up a chance to destroy the GU formation, what would Wu Yong do? Tai Mian Shen was hesitant, because trust between the three was lacking. But at this time, a complex aura burst out from the very center of the battlefield. Great winds blew. Wu Yong's sleeves were fluttering like the king of the wind. At this moment, his ordinary appearance had turned into one of grand boldness and authority. Since you want to see the rank 8 immortal GU that my mother left me, I will show you. Wu Yong called out coldly. A vast number of purple thoughts were blown away. The blood rivers were in turbulence. Several rivers were cut apart from this intense wind. Chao Ji Kai was shocked and joyful. Tai Mian Shen's iron mask was also shaved off slightly from this commotion. He called out in surprise, "This is an immortal GU house." Wu Yong had struck without warning, making a truly shocking move. He did not use any immortal killer moves. He took out an immortal GU house from his immortal aperture. This immortal GU house was not glorious or grand. It had the appearance of a bamboo building. This was a very commonly seen type of building in southern border. It existed in the other 4 regions as well, but it was only built on mountainous terrain. This bamboo building had 2 stories, made entirely out of bamboo. There were even bamboo leaves growing on the bamboos. Drops of dew were dripping down from the leaves, green as jade. Wu Yong's sleeves billowed, flying into the 2nd story of the bamboo building. He sat by the window, flicking his finger as the bamboo building shook. More than 10 drops of jade dew fell off the roof. At that moment, the jade dew shot out from the bamboo building at lightning speed. Everywhere they went, clear wind blew, sweeping everything. Be it the purple thoughts or blood-red tides, they were all disintegrated by the wind. So impressive, Chao Ji Kai praised. The jade dew had flown over and resolved his crisis. Wu clan had 3 immortal GU houses initially, but now they have a 4th. And this immortal GU house has the aura of 2 rank 8 wind path immortal GU. Wu Yong had truly hidden it very deeply. Tai Mian Shen was deeply shook. The 2 GU immortals were saved one after another. They flew into the bamboo building, standing beside Wu Yong. This is the immortal GU house that my mother constructed, clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building. Wu Yong sat by the window, looking at the GU formation outside as he explained clearly. Amazing. With this building, we will not lose. It is only a matter of time until we escape. Chao Ji Kai was overjoyed. If Wu Yong was using Wu Dushu's 2 rank 8 immortal GU to activate an immortal killer move, Chao Ji Kai would be very worried. Because activating immortal killer moves had a chance of failure. The stronger the killer move, the greater the backlash if he failed in activating it. But Wu Dushu had died. Wu Yong had only inherited these 2 rank 8 immortal GU for a short amount of time. Especially when Wu Yong was the first supreme elder of Wu clan, he had high status. How much time did he have to practice his killer moves? This was a huge problem. But now, these 2 rank 8 wind path immortal GU were used with other GU worms to construct an immortal GU house. Everyone knew that immortal GU houses had fixed abilities, but they were easy to use and would not normally have backlash. Tai Mian Shen's emotions were much more complex. He thought, Wu clan actually had a 4th immortal GU house, and it is a rank 8 immortal GU house. It is far more powerful than the first 3. Each immortal GU house will greatly raise a clan's overall strength. With a rank 8 immortal GU house, and some GU immortals, as long as they had enough immortal essence, Wu clan would basically have the equivalent of a 2nd rank 8 GU immortal. Wu Yong had truly concealed this deeply. He could not help but assess Wu Yong again in a new light. Wu clan was not having an easy time recently, they were facing the threat of many forces around them. As the only rank 8 GU immortal left in Wu clan, Wu Yong was busy sending out people to deal with problems. He was in an awkward state. But as long as he used this immortal GU house, all his problems would be resolved. Wu clan's reputation would soar and they would become the #1 force in southern border again without doubt. All of the other forces would stop having greedy thoughts. But Wu Yong did not. He had been using his own strength to deal with Wu clan's problems. He hid this immortal GU house very deeply, even Wu clan's GU immortals did not know of it. If he was not trapped inside this purple blood river formation, nobody would be able to find out that Wu Yong actually had a 4th immortal GU house, and it was a rank 8 immortal GU house at that. With just this, Wu Yong is definitely not inferior to his mother Wu Du-shu. Thankfully, my Tai clan is at the northeast of southern border, while Wu clan is at the southwest. We are far apart. And earlier, my clan did not join in on making problems for Wu clan. Tai Mi and Shen let out a breath, feeling relieved. All of the super forces dominated an area. They had been in southern border for countless years. They understood each other very clearly, each of their strengths were balanced with the amount of territory they had. It was in a deadlock. But once Wu Du-shu died, this balance was upset. Thus, the other super clans worked together to find trouble with Wu clan. But the moment they displayed this clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building, it would replace Wu Du-shu and suppress southern border once again. Wu Yong simply had been scheming so deeply, he had been hiding it from view. One could easily tell, the moment he took out this immortal GU house, the other clans would suffer, they would be met with a great defeat. Chapter 1345. Worsening situation, Feng Yuan moves. The morning sun rose into the sky, it was dawn, the air was still moist and damp. 2 Hu clan GU immortals stood above the clouds, looking down at the canyon below them. Golden Cloud Canyon. This canyon was filled with mist. At night, the mist would obscure vision and had no special trait. But when the sun rises, and sunlight shines into the canyon, the mist would give out sharp golden light. These fragments of gold light were not glaring, the mist filled this golden canyon, making it grand and imposing. This is Golden Cloud Canyon, it produces metal path and cloud path resources. Long ago, Wu clan had taken it away from us forcefully. A Hu clan GU immortal sighed, but now, it is time to take back our assets. The other Hu clan GU immortal nodded, a faint light shining from his body. The light lasted for a few breaths of time. After it faded, his appearance had changed, he now resembled a famous expert in the demonic path. The Hu clan GU immortal beside him nodded, before rushing down towards Golden Cloud Canyon silently. Golden Cloud Canyon was originally defended by a Wu clan GU immortal, but because of Wu Yong's disappearance, Feng Yuan had ordered everyone to return to Wu clan's headquarters. This news could be concealed for a while, but it was eventually noticed by everyone. However, Hu clan was a righteous path force, they could not attack directly. There were righteous path rules, thus, Hu clan needed an excuse. Therefore, they said that they were pursuing a demonic path GU immortal and charged into Golden Cloud Canyon openly. Once they took down Golden Cloud Canyon and established that fact, it will not be easy for Wu clan to reclaim Golden Cloud Canyon. By then, Wu clan can come up with lots of excuses, like, we helped Wu clan defend Golden Cloud Canyon, we want some compensation. It would be a problem for Wu clan. Coming up with excuses was the greatest ability of righteous path forces. Unless Wu clan had superior battle strength and forced Hu clan to back off. The demonic path expert that the Hu clan GU immortal transformed into flew towards the golden mist like a huge bird. Sensing his aura, the mist inside Golden Cloud Canyon changed, metallic sounds could be heard from it, causing vibrations in the eardrums. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. At the next moment, countless blades, spears, swords, halberds, in the form of golden phantoms, shot out endlessly. Even though the Wu clan GU immortal left, the resource point's GU formation was still around. At this moment, it was activated automatically, defending itself. The gaze of the Hu clan GU immortal was stern, he called out as a strong blade chi shot down, slicing sharply. Everywhere it went, space shattered, winds were moving rapidly. Evidently, Hu clan came prepared, he used blade chi immortal GU. Wu clan's GU formation was just a mortal GU formation, how could it match a rank 7 GU immortal? Not only did the countless golden phantoms shatter, even the GU formation was completely destroyed from one attack. At once, the golden mist in the canyon was split in the middle, a large amount of the golden mist parted as the canyon's true appearance was exposed. The two GU immortals from Hu clan had heated gazes. Demonic path scoundrel, where are you going? One of the Hu clan GU immortals shouted as he charged ahead. A purple waterfall descended like a mist, it was 180 feet tall. Poisonous waterfall. On a mountain close to this waterfall, there was a mortal village that Wu clan specially arranged. Die, die, a large group of mortal GU masters charged into the mountain. Wu clan's GU masters retreated, they were at their final line of defense. Wu clan's leader, a rank 4 GU master, stood at the crossroad as he shouted at his enemies, "Your young clan is really despicable, you actually assaulted our Wu clan. HMPH, we have been putting up with you for a long time. You have been too overbearing in occupying this place. My father and mother just wanted a GU worm to cure their poison, but they actually died in this mountain. Today, we will settle the score." The leading Yang clan GU master was still quite young, he charged into the mountain with rage and hatred. Damn it, Wu clan's GU masters were in a defensive location, but Yang clan came prepared, they had great numbers. Wu clan's GU masters were bound to lose, they could only escape from a secret cave. Yang clan's GU masters defeated Wu clan, they cheered in the rubble of the village. Above the clouds, the Yang clan GU immortals watching this expressed joy on their faces. This was the area where Yang clan and Wu clan bordered. Yang clan had been planning for a long time, sending a group of Yang clan mortals here, and allowed them to live here, causing conflict to occur between them and Wu clan. Because of this excuse, Yang clan could invade and occupy Wu clan's territory openly now. With the righteous path's rules, these were just mortal conflicts, unless GU immortal seeds were killed, there were no consequences. Poisonous waterfall was just an ordinary mortal resource point, it produced some mortal poison path GU, it was not important to GU immortals. But once this opening was made, from now on, Yang clan only needed to move forward to reach their destination, the truly valuable, Corpse Mountain. Rumble, river water raged like thunder, resounding in the ears of a Yao clan GU immortal. He stood at the peak of Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian, looking at the raging Red River. Not far from here, two rivers were connected. Red Dragon River and Yellow Dragon River, these two rivers merged together, forming a huge whirlpool that created great waves, it was extremely dangerous. Southern border's three rivers were not simple. Be it Red Dragon River, Yellow Dragon River, or Jade Dragon River, spirit springs would form in these rivers sometimes. And these spirit springs would be mixed in the river water, once they were washed away, the river water would be full of natural essence, allowing more GU materials to be created. Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian. This was a very special mountain. During ancient times, a southern border rank 8 GU immortal had turned into a zombie and fought against the combined forces of many super clans. After the rank 8 immortal zombie died, this place became a wasteland, it had no value. But to think that as time passed, gradually, on the mangled corpse of this rank 8 immortal zombie, due to the nourishment of the natural essence from the river, along with the aquatic plants in the river that rooted themselves, this place turned into a corpse mountain. This corpse mountain was thousands of feet tall, there were large numbers of zombies living in it, and it produced transformation path zombie GU, as well as chi path zombie chi GU. Before the headquarters of Southern Border's Zombie Alliance was exposed, they had targeted this precious area and wanted to pay a high price to buy it from Wu clan to make it their headquarters, but Wu clan rejected them. Zombie Alliance did not get it, but now, this belongs to my Yao clan. The Yao clan GU immortal was very excited. He looked afar, away from the river and towards the shore. That was Wu clan's territory. After taking over this Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian, Wu clan's territory east of Red Dragon River and north of Yellow Dragon River would be completely lost. Yao clan took down Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian, this was like a bridgehead, they could finally start going after Wu clan's other territories. News that Wu Yang had died spread out of nowhere. After getting such news, several super forces colluded secretly, thus, they did not act alone this time. Yao clan, Yang clan, and Hu clan, they were just three of these clans. Wu clan's headquarters were in chaos. Damn it, these three clans are simply too daring. We lost 3 resources at once, especially Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian, this is a huge loss. In the past, Wu clan from top to bottom spent such effort and a huge price to obtain it. Retaliate, we need to retaliate. We have our immortal GU houses, what are we afraid of? Wu clan's GU immortals bellowed in anxiety, some were arguing endlessly, some raised their arms in objection, some were remaining silent. More than 10 days had passed since Wu Yang went missing, it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Wu clan had been trying to conceal this information, but like Wu Bachong had guessed, the mastermind had already spread news of it. Initially, the super clans did not believe it. Because Fang Yuan had already expected this situation, he gave out a lot of false information to mislead others. But his actions were not normal. Super forces were not stupid. After some observation and probing, they finally acted. The moment they did, Wu clan went into a difficult spot. They lost a lot of territory. In the discussion hall, because Wu Yong was missing, the main seat was empty. Wu Bachong, who was second supreme elder, sat by the side. He was silent, quietly observing the surrounding GU Immortal's expressions. Even though he had a heavy heart, he felt a bit smug. Especially when he looked at Wu Chao, his lips could not help but curl up. Because Wu Chao was the Wu clan GU Immortal in charge of guarding Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian. Once they lost that resource point, it was a huge loss to Wu Chao. Wu Chao was solemn and had a cold expression. Even though he sensed Wu Bachong's provocative gaze, he pretended not to be aware, sitting like a statue. "Stop arguing, be quiet," Wu Bachong said. This time, nobody rebuked him. The discussion hall quickly became silent. Wu Bachong was very pleased at this. Under the Immortal's anxious gazes, he sighed. Such a huge matter happened to Wu clan, but we still cannot make a decision. Let's ask Lord Wu Yihai to make his decision. Wu Chao frowned. The other Wu clan GU Immortals looked at each other. Some were unhappy with Fang Yuan, grumbling, "Such a huge matter happened to our clan, but Lord Wu Yihai is still staying inside the Super GU formation. I heard that Fairy Si Lu went there more than 10 days ago. I also heard that there is a Lady White Rabbit, the GU Immortal who said this had vile intentions." Wu Chao frowned even deeper now. He wanted to speak up for Fang Yuan, but he was in a dangerous state himself. He hesitated and did not speak. Wu clan's letter soon got to Fang Yuan. Such a thing had happened. Fang Yuan was not surprised, he expected it. "It seems that I cannot stay here anymore." Fang Yuan looked at the dream realm, sighing deeply. These last days, he wanted to continue exploring dream realms. But his luck was bad, he kept getting those absurd dream realms, there was no way to explore it. Chapter 1346. Chao Clan's Trouble, Rabbit's Deep Love. Of course, over these last days, Fang Yuan was not doing nothing. The biggest batch of regretful spiders in his possession had been sold. Fang Yuan's Red Date Immortal Essence storage was no longer lacking. As for Vajra Shell, Fang Yuan had completed its modification, he only needed to test it. Because his Dark Path attainment level had risen to Grandmaster, he successfully created an Immortal Killer move, Extended Dark Concealment. This move used rank 6 Dark Limit Immortal GU and rank 7 Perseverance Immortal GU as the cores, and several hundred Mortal GU to greatly lengthen the effect of Dark Limit Immortal GU. At this time, Chao Silu requested to meet him. At Fang Yuan's will, the doors opened. Chao Silu had a grim expression, worry could be seen on her face. She brought bad news with her. Other than Yao clan, Hu clan, and Yang clan taking over Wu clan's territories, Ba clan and Sha clan had also moved at the same time, but against Chao clan. Looking at southern borders map, Ba clan and Sha clan were to the north of Chao clan, they bordered Chao clan. Chao clan lost their wedding dress lake and empty origin pit, they were annexed by Ba clan and Sha clan respectively. After Chao clan's first supreme elder, Chao Ji Kai, went missing, Chao clan also did the strategy of gathering their GU immortals and defending their base, in anticipation of the enemy. This made Ba clan's and Sha clan's actions very successful. Chao clan lost a lot just now. Wedding dress lake and empty origin pit were resource points that were more valuable than blood tide pit. Chao clan was the weakest righteous path super force. After losing 2 resource points, Chao clan was furious and upset. Fang Yuan had also heard of these 2 resource points. There was a folklore about this wedding dress lake in southern border. According to legends, a fairy in heaven weaved clothing, making her own wedding dress, whoever received it would become the husband of this fairy. After the fairy made the wedding dress, she tossed it into this lake, and it was picked up by a fisherman who lived by the lake. The immortal and mortal loved each other, staying inside the lake, living happily ever after. This story was mostly fiction, but wedding dress lake had all sorts of clothing GU. Like fire cloak GU, water armor GU, wood armor GU, and so on. In its history of being in Chao clan's control, it had produced 3 wild immortal GU. As for empty origin pit, it was known by the mortals living in the mountains nearby as the final resting spot. It could communicate with the immortal realm. After the ignorant mortals died, their corpses were tossed into this pit. Before these corpses landed, they would be torn to shreds by the space path Dao marks here. These ignorant mortals thought that the reason was because they had ascended to the immortal realm after dying. The truth was, this place was excellent in producing space path resources. Sha clan had wanted it for a long time, and even though Chao clan was not their match, they were backed by Wu clan. Right now, with Chao Ji Kai and Wu Yong missing, this was a great opportunity. How could Sha clan miss it? Chao clan and Wu clan had been in an alliance for a long time, their fortunes were tied together. Chao clan was invaded by Ba clan and Sha clan, it was like Wu clan getting attacked. This way, including Yao clan, Hu clan, and Yang clan, a total of 5 super forces were attacking Wu clan. The situation was at its worst. If they could not stop this, Wu clan and Chao clan would lose even more territory later. I will arrange it now. Wu Chao will bring the immortal Gu house here and escort us back. Fang Yuan said to Chao Silu. Chao Silu nodded, this was the reason she came. With Chao clan's predicament, Chao Silu had to look for help from Fang Yuan. Actually, because of Fang Yuan's delay, Chao Silu was very unhappy already. If not for the fact that Chao clan only had one immortal Gu house, they would have already sent out one to bring Fang Yuan away. Go arrange it too, gather Chao clan's Gu immortals, we are leaving together. Fang Yuan said again. Chao Silu was stunned, together. What about here? We can only give it up temporarily. Fang Yuan made up his mind, he did not hesitate. Then what about the immortal Gu we used to set up this formation? Chao Silu frowned. We will bring them away. Otherwise, some Gu immortals with ill intent will forcefully refine them or even destroy them. We know what these people are capable of. Excuses are too easy to find. Fang Yuan said plainly. Don't forget that my formation path attainment is not low. I am capable of taking out some immortal Gu. Fang Yuan added. Chao Silu thought of Fang Yuan and Kai Sheng's competition, she nodded, thinking, Wu Yihai's formation path attainment is indeed not low, Kai Sheng had once praised him for it. In fact, she underestimated Fang Yuan. Right now, his formation path attainment level was at Grandmaster, he was comparable to Kai Sheng. In the past, this Super Gu formation was completely indecipherable to him, he could not see anything. But after becoming a formation path Grandmaster and staying here for so long, Fang Yuan had gained a rather deep understanding of this Super Gu formation. Modifying this Gu formation was out of his ability, but taking away some immortal Gu was possible. After the decision was made, Chao Silu called Chao Clan Gu Immortal Chao Bo, pack up, when Wu Clan's immortal Gu house arrives, we will leave and return to our base. Chao Bo quickly acknowledged, asking in succession, when are they coming? I need to arrange the clansmen. Chao Silu looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan waved his hand. No rush, I had just contacted them, it will take some time. Chao Bo expressed joy on his face as he left respectfully. Even though Wu Clan's base is near Yitian Mountain, if they are sending an immortal Gu house, it will take 4 to 5 days to reach here. In this case, I can do the final round of the business. Chao Bo left and started to think. The business he thought of was naturally the immortal opportunity business. Chao Clan and Wu Clan were in dire straits, this caused Chao Clan's and Wu Clan's Gu immortals to feel worried, the immortal opportunity business was taking a huge hit. 2 of Chao Clan's Gu immortals were stationed to guard the Super Gu formation here. Chao Bo was one of them, he had rank 6 cultivation level, when he was sent here, he begrudged the decision, but the immortal opportunity business changed his mind. Now that we are returning, the immortal opportunity business cannot continue, there might even be fights later. Since we are leaving anyway, I will make this a big one. Chao Bo gritted his teeth, making up his mind. A day later, Chao Bo met with demonic path Gu immortal Fairy Miao Yin. Fairy, we meet again. Chao Bo had an excited expression, his eyes were darting around as he observed Fairy Miao Yin. Even though Fairy Miao Yin was in the demonic path, her strength and appearance was top tier, she was one of the 3 great fairies of southern border, on par with Chao Silu. All along, Fairy Miao Yin had been entering the giant dream realm to find opportunities in the dream realm. Even though her soul was often injured, the dream path materials that she gathered were not few. Even though Wu Clan and Chao Clan, and other super forces tried to buy these dream path materials from her, Fairy Miao Yin rejected them all without hesitation. Let's go in and speak. Chao Bo said as he looked at the 2 Gu immortals behind Fairy Miao Yin. According to the rules, each business would only have 1 demonic cultivator or lone immortal. But this time, because Chao Bo was going to leave, he made this a big one and went ahead to bring in 3 Gu immortals at once. At the same time, in Wu Clan's area, Lady White Rabbit looked at Wuan. Lord Wuan, is it true that everyone is leaving? And so urgently. Wu Wen nodded. The situation is not looking good, I'm sure you've heard some rumors. But it is not a problem, don't worry, Wu clan will not fall. Just stay here and manage the immortal opportunity business, wait for us to return. Lady White Rabbit pondered for a moment before asking weakly, before you leave, I want to meet Lord Wu Yihai again, is that possible? This, Wu Wen had a difficult expression. Lord Wu Yihai is in seclusion now, he is trying to deduce an immortal killer move, he might not have time for you. Lady White Rabbit had a sad expression. I don't know why but I have a bad feeling, I want to meet Lord Wu Yihai, I just want to take a glance at him. Isn't he leaving too? I will wait here for a few days until he comes out, is that okay? Wu Wen sighed deeply. It was obvious at a glance that Lady White Rabbit had affection towards Wu Yihai. It is a pity that the feeling is not mutual, I am afraid that in Lord Wu Yihai's eyes, Lady White Rabbit is just a tool, what a shame. Wu Wen felt some sympathy in him. He nodded. All right, you can stay here, Lord Wu Yihai will see you after he ends his closed cultivation. Thank you, thank you. Lady White Rabbit was overjoyed, she quickly thanked him profusely. Cultivating in the secret room, Fang Yuan held a rank 7 Immortal GU. Immortal GU precaution. This GU worm was the size of 2 hands, it was like a long-horned beetle with a black exoskeleton, it was very heavy. Even with Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal body, he could not hold it. But it had already been refined by Fang Yuan, it was floating in the air now as Fang Yuan observed it. This Immortal GU was one of the 2 Immortal GU that Fang Yuan had taken after joining Wu clan as Wu Yihai. As the name suggested, the Immortal GU's effect was to protect the GU Immortal. It was Rule Path and had one weakness, when used alone, it needed some time to activate. It could only activate its effects after 10 breaths of time. 10 breaths of time was not short for GU Immortals. Especially in intense battles, 10 breaths of time was enough for a dozen round of fights, with countless attacks unleashed. And most importantly, if a GU Immortal sneak attacked, life and death would be decided in an instant. By then, activating Precaution Immortal GU would be too slow. However, once Precaution Immortal GU was activated, 10 breaths of time later, its defensive effect would be incredible. It was one of the top rank 7 defensive Immortal GU, it had status equal to Sword Escape Immortal GU. Not long ago, Fang Yuan had a new idea, he wanted to fuse Precaution Immortal GU into the immortal killer move Vajra Shell. And now, he had already designed the killer move, he just needed to test it. Chapter 1347, Chai Clan has human smoke. He started. The first step, Fang Yuan turned into a divination tortoise. The second step, he started to activate a large number of mortal GU, followed by Vajra Thought Immortal GU and more mortal GU. The third step, and the most important one, he activated Precaution Immortal GU. Puff, Fang Yuan turned into a divination tortoise, spitting out a huge amount of blood. In his immortal aperture, large numbers of mortal GU were destroyed, but thankfully, Precaution Immortal GU was sturdy and did not get damaged. Fang Yuan's head was dizzy, his immortal killer move failed, his organs were damaged, he suffered heavy injuries. Thankfully, he had transformed into a divination tortoise, an ancient desolate beast, he had a tough body and incredible recovery speed. If he did this with a human body, his injuries would have been worse, his organs and intestines might have disintegrated on the spot. Why did this happen? Fang Yuan was dazed. This was different from what he conceptualized. In fact, before Precaution Immortal GU could use its power, this immortal killer move broke apart. Fang Yuan did not expect this. Fang Yuan had used Affection Immortal GU and other Wisdom Path Immortal GU to deduce this modified immortal killer move, such a severe error should not have occurred. This was truly a huge blow to him. After Fang Yuan's injuries healed, he calmed down and looked at the killer move. After several deductions, Fang Yuan was even more troubled. There are no problems, though. Suddenly, he had a flash of inspiration. I understand. Fang Yuan instantly understood where the problem was. He had misunderstood Precaution Immortal GU. When Precaution Immortal GU activated, it continued to expend Red Date Immortal Essence, but it could only unleash its power after 10 breaths. It did not activate at the 10th breath, but at the 11th breath. Because of this small mistake, the entire immortal killer move failed and Fang Yuan suffered a backlash. To think that the problem was here, it was truly a blind spot. It seems that I need to add some time path GU worms to make up for the time difference. Fang Yuan's time path attainment level was ordinary, it had never risen much. Because he had never encountered any time path dream realm. However, he had He Fan's true inheritance and wisdom path deduction methods, it could make up for some of his weaknesses. But because of this, the deduction could not be completed instantly. 1 day passed, Fang Yuan did not rest. 2 days passed, Fang Yuan was still deducing. 3 days passed, Wu clan's immortal GU house had already completed most of its journey. Fang Yuan's deduction finally had some progress. After his qualitative advancement, his future deductions went smoothly. Southern border, Human Smoke Mountain Range. This place had the most living mortals in southern border. Villages after villages were seen on the mountains here. On some mountain peaks, there were even several villages, they were neighbors. This was a bountiful sight. The population had multiplied to its limit, there were a vast number of humans here. Of course, in terms of battle strength, a GU immortal would be able to wipe this place out, no mortal could resist their unstoppable might. And at the center of this mountain range, it was the political core of all the villages, Human Smoke Mountain. The base of one of the super clans, Chai Clan. The person who created Chai Clan was called Chai Fu, he had left his mark in human history. During his era, he was the #1 person in Southern Border's GU immortal world. He cultivated Fire Path along with Earth Path, because he had gained a lot of insight from reading less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, he had a human path killer move. During his later years, he chose this place to create Chai Clan. After modifying the mountain range, he created Human Smoke Mountain. In fact, most GU immortal experts and great experts would read less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. A true inheritance of human path was hidden within less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, this was indeed the first true inheritance in the history of the GU master world. It had a unique inheritance method. Normal inheritances were like He Fan's true inheritance and Bai Zhang's true inheritance. But Ren Zhu's human path true inheritance was just one book, less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, it was information. The profundities of human path were concealed in this information, and whatever a GU immortal learned would depend on their affinity and talent. Everyone had different gains, after all, the benevolent see benevolence, the wise see wisdom. But every immortal Venerable and demon Venerable had their gains, and those were huge gains. For example, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had created all living beings luck in heaven and earth luck after reading less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. After Chai Fu read less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, he left behind the human path method that he learned after death, passing it down to his Chai clan descendants. Precisely so, Chai clan's development strategy was different from other super clans. Chai clan focused on increasing population, to increase the number of mortals. As for other super forces, they basically only focused on a portion of their clansmen and allowed them to develop and grow in the 5 regions. These clansmen would have the bloodline of certain authoritative figures in the super force, they were also called the main bloodline. And a portion of the people would stay inside their blessed lands or grotto heavens and would not go outside. These people were often the branch bloodlines. Only when unexpected mishaps occur and the main bloodline dies out, or when a ruling figure dies without an inheritor, would the branch bloodlines take over. Chai clan expanded the population, but they did not have Chai clan bloodline. If any other clan did this, they were courting trouble. Spending great effort to nurture mortals of other surnames, with greater population, more GU masters would emerge among them. These GU masters would not have the clan's bloodline, their loyalty was greatly reduced, they had no value in being nurtured to become GU immortals. If they became GU immortals on their own, it would cause conflict between them and the main clan. But Chai clan was different. They nurtured so many mortals, but these mortals all had low aptitudes, there were few GU masters among them, not to mention GU immortals. In contrast, highly talented people continuously emerged from Chai clan's own descendants, there were many who were talented enough to be nurtured into GU immortals. This formed a clear contrast to the other super forces. According to their conjectures, Chai clan's abnormal situation was likely due to the human path method that Chai Fu had left behind. However, no matter which generation it was, even though Chai clan had lots of genius descendants, because of limited resources, these GU immortal seeds eventually remained as only rank 4 or 5 GU masters. There was a need to talk about Southern Border's geography at this point. Southern Border's biggest features, other than mountains, were the 3 great rivers. Red Dragon River, Jade Dragon River, and Yellow Dragon River, each of them passed through the whole of Southern Border, cutting it up into many segments. Red Dragon River started from the extreme northwest, moving east towards the south, all the way until Southern Border's extreme southeast. Jade Dragon River started above it, it had a downward slope if a bird's eye view over the region was used. Yellow Dragon River had the shape of the character, Gee, there was a protrusion at the top. It was far more steep than Jade Dragon River. Jade Dragon River and Yellow Dragon River did not intersect, but Red Dragon River intersected with both Jade Dragon River and Yellow Dragon River 1. At the point of intersection between Red Dragon River and Yellow Dragon River, it was Wu Clan's territory. Towards the northeast shore of the huge whirlpool there was Corpse Emperor Yu Dingtian. As for the intersection between Red Dragon River and Jade Dragon River, the huge whirlpool there was dozens of times as large. Natural essence was incredible dense there. At the center of the whirlpool, there were huge numbers of spirit springs, tens of thousands of them. These spirit springs were not stable. Almost every breath of time, dozens would be destroyed. Thus, a great amount of natural essence poured onto the river banks. When Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable traveled to this place, he had once commented that throughout the whole of southern border, this place had the greatest density of primeval energy. Over there, the air was filled with primeval energy, large amounts of resources were produced, on par with grotto heavens and blessed lands. And at this place, the bases of 3 super forces were gathered. For example, Red Dragon River and Jade Dragon River formed a cross shape, with the center being the spiral whirlpool. Chai Clan's human smoke mountain was north of it, Ba Clan was south, while Sha Clan was to its east. For the last 3 days, Chai Clan's discussion hall had been in chaos. Now was no exception. Chai Clan's first Supreme Elder sat before everyone as his gaze flickered, showing a hesitant expression. Not long ago, Fang Yuan had sent him a letter. In the letter, Fang Yuan, who was Wu Yihai, represented Wu Clan and was willing to work with Chai Clan to attack Sha Clan and Ba Clan. This was an incredibly important matter. Chai Clan's first Supreme Elder had to gather the clan's GU Immortals and discuss about it. The discussion hall's chaos was due to this. We cannot attack Ba Clan and Sha Clan. Wu Clan's intention is just to make use of us to get rid of their external pressure. The moment we attack, our Chai Clan will have to face 2 super forces at once. If these 2 super forces ignore Wu Clan and turn around to target us, we will be on the losing end, we will not be able to overturn it. A Chai Clan GU Immortal shouted loudly, standing at the center of the discussion hall. He had just finished his words when a GU Immortal at a corner proposed, we can choose to attack one clan. Even though Wu Clan gave the request of fighting both clans, we can negotiate about this matter. This will not determine what we do, after all. Sai, the matter is severe. Our Chai Clan has so many mortals around. If we fight, the other party just needs one GU Immortal to wipe out all of our mortals, we will suffer huge losses. An elderly GU Immortal from Chai Clan side, he was very apprehensive. Because of the human path method's limitation, these humans could not leave human smoke mountain range. This way, they needed an immortal GU formation or an immortal GU house to defend the place. Precisely so, we need to fight for more resources. That's right, our Chai Clan's advantage is that we have a human path method to allow geniuses to appear in our descendants. But we do not have enough resources to nurture them. Once we chase away one clan or even 2, we will gain a vast amount of resources, we will become the #1 force in southern border in no time. These were the arguments of the side that wanted to fight. Chai Clan's first Supreme Elder remained silent. After a while, he looked at a GU Immortal in the hall, asking, Yu Yan, tell us about your view. Chapter 1348. Easing the situation. The discussion hall became quiet, everyone's gazes turned to this GU Immortal. This GU Immortal looked young and had a normal appearance. It was not outstanding, but he was an important GU Immortal in Chai Clan. He was the trusted and capable aide of Chai Clan's first Supreme Elder. Chai Yuyan, who was an information path GU Immortal, thought for a while before saying, the things I consider might be different from everyone. These last days, I have been pondering over Wu Yihai. Wu Yong went missing and is presumably dead. Regardless of whether this is true or who the culprit was, Wu Yihai is currently the leader of Wu Clan. I am thinking about his personality, and how sincere he actually is. We all know about Wu Yihai's origin. We know too little about him. He did not grow up in southern border after all. Continue. Chai Clan's first Supreme Elder showed interest in his eyes. Chai Yuyan smiled before continuing. Actually, we know about the information regarding Wu Yihai already, I will skip that. From this information, we can more or less understand this person's attitude and personality. I will mention something that everyone ignored. Oh, we all ignored something. Chai Yuyan rubbed his nose. I mean that letter. In Wu Yihai's letter, he wanted to ally with our clan to attack Ba Clan and Sha Clan. He did not choose either Ba Clan or Sha Clan, he chose to target them both. Wu Clan has always acted so domineering, isn't this their usual style of doing things? Some Chai Clan GU Immortals did not understand. No no no, Wu Yihai is different. Chai Yuyan shook his head. We can tell from how he dealt with Frosty Peak and the agreement with mountain-moving old monster. His actions are similar to lone cultivators. After all, how long has it been since he returned to Wu clan? Wu Yihai lacks the dominating disposition of Wu clan, but he has the astuteness of lone cultivators. He knows how to make agreements. From what I see, he is talented as a part of the righteous path. Why did he list Ba clan and Sha clan as his targets? Like what was mentioned earlier, why did he not choose one of them and seek peace with the other? Because when we ally with Wu clan, if we choose one of them to attack, would the other stay still? They would definitely work together and resist both Wu clan and us. Chai clan's GU immortals heard this and nodded, agreeing with Chai Yuyan. Chai clan, Ba clan, Sha clan, these three clans were gathered around the Red and Jade rivers. Their relationship was complex. If one clan became strong, the other two would join up to resist it. The three were in a power balance, restraining each other. This was also why Chai clan had never made any progress after so many years of development. If Chai clan worked with Wu clan, this balance would shift. Would Ba clan and Sha clan not cooperate? Thus, Fang Yuan directly listed both of them as his targets. Because he knew that it was bound to happen. This means that Wu Yihai has quite good foresight. Since he suggested for us to cooperate with him, he must have made many preparations. We do not need to worry about Wu clan toying with us. Someone said. Chai Yuyan nodded. What I want to say is, Wu Yihai has a lot of talent in politics. From all these details, I can see that he has a lot of sincerity in this cooperation. The truth is, our Chai clan needs to act. After developing until now, we finally suppressed Sha clan and Ba clan. It was not easy. This is the hard work of countless generations, mixed in with some luck. Once Ba clan or Sha clan devours more resources, their foundations would grow, our advantage will be gone. Of course, we need to be careful of Wu clan as well if we work together. As for how we will fight, and how we will restrict the extent of this battle, that will be First Supreme Elder's decision. But at the very least, we need to send some GU immortals to attack. We cannot let Ba clan and Sha clan expand their territories so easily, right? His words were met with the nodding of Chai clan's GU immortals. At almost the same time, southern border, Myriad Snake Mountain, Kai clan's base. Kai clan's first supreme elder held a letter GU and remained silent. Kai clan was at the extreme west of southern border, southwest of it was Yang clan, and towards its east was Chao clan. Kai clan bordered on these two clans, but Yang clan was farther from its base and had a longer border with it. Making friends with those far away and making enemies with those close by, this was a common foreign policy. Thus, Kai clan and Yang clan had poor relationships. Yang clan's Ghost Hand Mountain was at the source of Yellow Dragon River. It had abundant resources and was a strategic location. Yang clan GU immortals mostly cultivated soul path. They had incredible battle strength and was a threat to Kai clan. In the past, Yang clan and Kai clan had many conflicts. This had accumulated throughout history. Towards the east of Yang clan, all the way along Yellow Dragon River, was Wu clan's territory. Actually, Wu clan and Kai clan were close by. Even though they did not border each other, Chao clan and Kai clan did. Chao clan was heavily supported by a Wu clan first supreme elder of a certain generation. Chao clan was at the central area of southern border, bordering Ba clan, Sha clan, and Kai clan. It could even restrain the southwest Yang clan. Kai clan and Chao clan had conflicts, but everyone knew that Chao clan was Wu clan's guard dog. Thus, Kai clan's and Wu clan's relationship was good or bad at times, depending on the situation. If there was one phrase to describe Kai clan's and Wu clan's relationship, ambiguous would be a rather appropriate term. Not long ago, Kai clan had found trouble with Wu clan. But inside the Super GU formation of Yitian Mountain, Kai clan worked with Wu clan, creating the Immortal Opportunity business. Wu Yihai, you are giving me a tough problem. In his study room, Kai clan first supreme elder Kai Kuyu sighed deeply. Fang Yuan had requested to work with Kai clan and deal with Yang clan. Kai Kuyu was moved, because he knew this was a good opportunity. This chance was rare even in his lifetime. Any force needed to grow larger. Trying to annex Yang clan's resources, even if they could not succeed, would weaken Yang clan. This was something beneficial to Kai clan no matter what. Kai clan had a lot of spare energy for this. Not only because Kai clan's base was located far from the action, but also because Kai clan specialized in GU formations. By setting up many immortal GU formations, Kai clan's base and all their resource points had incredible defense. Kai clan had little to worry about. They also had 2 immortal GU houses, and don't forget, Kai Kuyu was a rank 8 GU immortal. Wu Yong had died. This news sent southern border into chaos. In this chaotic situation, what would Kai clan do? Kai Kuyu needed to decide quickly and resolutely. Several days later, in the Super GU formation, Fang Yuan came out of his seclusion. He had a bit of joy on his face. His closed cultivation bore fruit. He had completed the deduction of Vajra shell and tested it several times. And during these few days, the situation in southern border had undergone a huge change. Chai clan sent GU immortals to the river and showed a threatening stance. Ba clan and Sha clan had to gather a portion of their strength and defend themselves. Kai clan's GU immortals directly invaded Yang clan's territory. The 2 clans were neighbors for so long, it was easy to find an excuse to do so. Both sides were fighting near their mountain range. Kai clan's great expert was very active. He brought an immortal GU house and attacked personally. This made Yang clan very nervous. They had to send their immortal GU house and many GU immortals to face him. Yang clan had no rank 8 GU immortal, they were in a passive state. Other than that, Luo clan, Tai clan, and Yi clan also made their movements. Because Fang Yuan sent these clans letters as well. Of course, the contents were all different from Chai clan and Kai clan. After all, these 4 clans were too close to each other, they were all towards the east of southern border. But even so, these clans' movements had attracted the attention of Hu clan and Yao clan, they were drawn away. Because they knew that even though these clans were unlikely to strike, they were afraid of taking that chance, they had to defend against it. As for Shang clan, this clan had always scrupulously followed neutrality. Even though Fang Yuan sent a letter, they replied instantly, rejecting his suggestion. Because of this sudden change, Wu clan's and Chao clan's dangerous situation had become much more relaxed. Wu clan's and Chao clan's GU immortals were very shocked at this result. Even though Fang Yuan just sent a few letters, to be able to convince super forces to act, it was not a simple thing. Especially when the letter had to be very precise on the amount of resources Wu clan was willing to give up to express their sincerity. Fang Yuan dealt with this perfectly, it was far beyond many people's imaginations. Very few people knew about the content of his letters, but everyone knew that these letters moved many GU immortals in these super forces. This allowed Wu clan and Chao clan to have an opportunity to retaliate. It seems that my skills have not fallen much. In the 500 years of his previous life, Fang Yuan was once the leader of an organization. During the 5 regions' chaotic war, the political situation was far more chaotic, all 5 regions were linked together, all sorts of deceptions, schemes, betrayal were endless. The current political chaos was just surrounding Wu clan and Chao clan, as well as the western part of southern border. It was not too complex in Fang Yuan's opinion. He did not need to be careful, he could directly target the problem. Wu clan's immortal GU house is finally arriving. Fang Yuan received more information. Originally, the immortal GU house was supposed to move earlier, but a mishap occurred midway and it was stalled for some time. No matter who did it or what their intention was, Fang Yuan had to wait an extra day before this immortal GU house arrived. It seems I need to leave this place now. This dream realm gave Fang Yuan an incredible boost. Many things happened during this period. Fang Yuan felt a bit of unwillingness to leave this treasure. Chapter 1349. Fang Yuan wants to kill White Rabbit. Fang Yuan started to settle the matters that piled up while he was in closed cultivation. Lady White Rabbit wants to see me. For what? Fang Yuan asked Wu in using information path methods. Soon, Fang Yuan understood Lady White Rabbit's intention. Not seeing her, get her to leave. Fang Yuan rejected mercilessly. Wu clan's immortal GU house would arrive in a day. Fang Yuan was not going to bring Lady White Rabbit with him, he needed a chess piece to stay here. Even if she was not in the Super GU formation, having one outside was fine too. Of course this carried huge risks. After all, Lady White Rabbit's and Wu Yihai's relationship was quite close, everyone knew about it. But chess pieces needed to display their worth. When Fang Yuan took in Lady White Rabbit, it was not because of her beauty or love, he just wanted to extract all of her value. Even with 1 day left, I cannot waste it, I might be able to gain something in the dream realm. But unfortunately, Fang Yuan still only met with absurd dream realms. It was a real pity. During this final period, he kept meeting absurd dream realms, his luck was quite bad. If they were realistic dream realms, he would at least obtain some growth. I heard that Chao clan has many realistic dream realms. It is a pity those demonic path GU immortals have no methods to use, but they are able to encounter realistic dream realms. Fang Yuan could not go to Chao clan. It was their territory. If he exposed his method of exploring dream realms, it would be a huge problem to Fang Yuan. At this moment, Chao Clan's area. One more day before we leave, your dream realm exploration is going to end. Make good use of your time. Also, our Chao Clan is very willing to purchase the dream path materials that you find. Chao Bo transmitted to Fairy Miao Yin and the other demonic path GU immortals. No need for more explorations, we can end now. Fairy Miao Yin smiled at Chao Bo. Chao Bo was dazed. He had brought Fairy Miao Yin here to explore the dream realm many times, but this was the first time he saw Fairy Miao Yin smiling at him so deeply. At once, his heart jumped, he showed a dazed expression. But soon, his body shook. A soft sound echoed. Chao Bo's pupils shrunk to pin size, he looked down at his chest. There, a hand with sharp fingernails had pierced through his back, directly destroying his heart. A cold frost was also spreading around his injury. You, how dare you? Chao Bo did not finish his words, he lost his life and turned into an ice statue. Chao Bo died. Behind him, Bai Ningbing drew back her hand expressionlessly. In the air, crystal shards were scattering. Her hand was white as snow, the blood traces were all removed along with the frost. The time is now, let's begin. The third GU immortal walked out, her appearance changed as she revealed her true form. Who else could it be but He Lu Lan? Is Lord Wu Yihai really unwilling to meet me? Lady White Rabbit had teary eyes as she looked at Wu Wen. Wu Wen sighed, shaking his head. Leave, there is no rush, you will meet again in the future. As long as you manage the immortal opportunity business well, maybe Lord Wu Yihai might reward you in the future. Manage it well, hee hee. Lady White Rabbit's eyes suddenly turned black, a cold light was shining in her dark eyes. Seeing this change, Wu Wen became alert, he took a step back. Lady White Rabbit, what are you doing? Don't act rashly. Lady White Rabbit's voice changed too, don't talk about White Rabbit. I am not that weak fool, blindly loving this cruel and heartless man. Remember, I am Black Tigress. HMPH, what Black Tigress, it is time to teach you people a lesson. Even though my Wu clan is in a difficult spot, you minor characters should forget about Uck. Before Wu Wen finished his words, his angry face turned into one of extreme fear. He found that he could not move, not only that, his body and soul were melting, turning into black water on the ground. What killer move is this? When was I hit? At this time, Black Tigress' cold voice entered Wu An's ears. Enjoy it, this was meant for Wu Yihai. It is a pity I did not get to see him. Once she said that, Wu Wen completely melted into a puddle of black water. Boom, boom, boom. Right after Wu Wen had died from Black Tigress' powerful killer move, the Super GU formation started to shake intensely. The Super GU formation was under attack. What is going on? The Righteous Path GU immortals here immediately reacted. Someone is attacking the GU formation, they are inside the GU formation. Soon, Kai Gui, who was the leader of Kai clan here, found the problem and informed the Righteous Path GU immortals. The immortals' hearts sank. The Super GU formation had incredibly strong defense, but it was split into inside and outside. Attacking the Super GU formation from the inside and from the outside were two different situations. Undeniably, attacking it from the inside would be much more destructive. The problem is at Chao Clan's area. The Righteous Path GU immortals near Chao Clan's area quickly transmitted. Damn it, I said that this immortal opportunity business was going to create problems. Chao Clan is toying with fire. See what happened, Ba Quanfeng shouted. After all, Ba Clan did not participate in this immortal opportunity business. Once he said that, many Righteous Path GU immortals went silent. No need to worry, even in this situation, my Kai clan ancestor had prepared against this. This Super GU formation has formations inside formations, for a total of 4 layers. Just these demonic path GU immortals cannot break our outermost layer. Kai Gui tried to raise the morale and relieve his own awkwardness. Because Kai clan was one of the instigators of the immortal opportunity business. That's right, they are just some rats. The Righteous Path GU immortals calmed down. But at this moment, boom, several loud explosions occurred as the GU formation shook again. The intensity was many times stronger than before. Many GU worms died, quite a few immortal GU were destroyed. What is going on? What is going on? Kai Gui was shocked. They actually found our formation core. Oh no, the other party came prepared, they are not attacking abruptly. They are attacking from both inside and outside. The outside of the GU formation was hit by a strong attack earlier. Stop them, quickly activate the GU formations. Send some people to the site, exterminate those demonic path scoundrels. Did Wu clan's and Chao clan's GU Immortals all die? Is anyone there? The righteous path GU Immortals transmitted to each other. It was a chaotic scene. What is going on? In the hall at Wu clan's area, Fang Yuan's brows were locked. He was observing the situation that had just occurred using the GU formation. He had just practiced his killer move. The event happened too quickly. He was caught unprepared. Information was transmitted to Fang Yuan from the GU formation. Lady White Rabbit's transformation and the killing of Wuan. He learned about everything. Lady White Rabbit is a traitor. She seemed to have become another person. And her target was actually me. Fang Yuan frowned even deeper now. He immediately decided to go ahead and kill White Rabbit to take revenge for Wuan. Not just because of Wu Yihai's identity, but also because Fang Yuan needed to maintain the stability of the Super GU formation. He needed to kill Lady White Rabbit. To think that there was such a huge slip-up. Yihai, my side of the GU formation is completely out of control, come lend me a hand. Chao Silu transmitted to Fang Yuan a cry for help and also the scene of Bai Ningbing killing Chao Bo. Receiving this information, Fang Yuan's intention of acting was dispersed. Bai Ningbing, hey Lu Lan, why are they here? I get it, this is the act of Shadow Sect. Fang Yuan's heart shook. He stayed on the spot, his eyes bursting with bright light. After discovering Shadow Sect, even though he had killing intent, his thoughts of going out vanished. What a joke, Shadow Sect had a rank 8 existence. Fang Yuan saw this from the Battle of Reverse Flow River. Who knew where that Purple Mountain True Monarch was? He might be close by, waiting to attack Wu Yihai if he came out. Even though I have the Immortal Killer Move Reverse Flow Protection Seal, which can defend against rank 8 existences, once I use it, my identity will be exposed. Since Shadow Sect sent Lady White Rabbit to kill me, undoubtedly, they did not discover that I am impersonating Wu Yihai. Otherwise, they would not send just Lady White Rabbit. What to do? Fang Yuan went into rapid contemplation. Using his wisdom path methods, thoughts moved rapidly in Fang Yuan's mind, raging like a storm. Shadow Sect's intention is obvious, they want to save Spectral Soul's main body. Shadow Sect must have their trump cards, I need to quietly observe for now. This Super GU formation is not a joke. Using this Super GU formation, we can defend against the attacks of rank 8 GU Immortals. I should not expose myself. Fang Yuan quickly made his plan. As for Chao Silu, you can die for all I care. Yihai, come quickly. Chao Silu urged again. Fang Yuan had a cold expression, immediately rejecting. Hang on, I have some problems here. Wuan was murdered by Lady White Rabbit, I cannot spare this murderer. What? Be careful yourself. Chao Silu was shocked, but she still gave Fang Yuan some words of concern, not knowing that he had already abandoned her in his mind. Chao Silu was facing against Fairy Miao Yin, He Lu Lan, and Bai Ningbing. She was a rank 7 GU Immortal, similar to Fairy Miao Yin, while He Lu Lan and Bai Ningbing were rank 6. Thus, in Chao Silu's perspective, the situation was not out of control. Her gaze was focused on Fairy Miao Yin. You are all finished, the Super GU formation has already been activated, you are all trapped here, surrender now and be my clan's slave GU Immortals, you might be able to survive. He. Fairy Miao Yin laughed. Is that so? Chapter 1350. Grey Knight breaks the formation. Right at this time, an intensely strong aura burst out from outside the Super GU formation. Soon, the Righteous Path GU Immortals controlling the GU formation noticed. There is a strong aura ahead. Such intense aura, so powerful. A rank 8 GU Immortal. The Righteous Path GU Immortals were gasping. Is it Purple Mountain True Monarch? Fang Yuan, who was inside the hall, watched attentively. No, it is not a GU Immortal, it is an immemorial desolate beast. It is actually. Before he finished his words, bam! The entire Super GU formation was faced with an unprecedentedly intense attack. The entire GU formation shook intensely, the halls created inside the GU formation were destroyed, they crumbled and disintegrated. At once, it felt like doomsday. The entire GU formation was cracked open, but there were not many injuries in the Righteous Path GU Immortals. This was the difference between a GU formation and a killer move. Even though GU formations were the killer moves of formation path, after a GU formation is set up, it works based on the GU worms and the environment. When they are destroyed, the GU Immortal would suffer a less intense backlash. Of course, ancient battle formations were different. Once ancient battle formations were destroyed, the GU Immortals would suffer severe backlashes, especially the main controller of the formation. Cough, Cough. Dust and smoke was clouding the place. The hall that Fang Yuan was in had completely collapsed, the corners were turning back into mortal GU, dead GU worms poured down like rain. A huge hole was created in the Super GU formation, the dream realm that was completely concealed earlier was now exposed. Many righteous path GU immortals stood by the opening, looking outside blankly. Over there, a huge figure was rampaging. It was a human-shaped immemorial desolate beast, it stood on both legs and had 2 huge monstrous claws, its hair was messy and its body was black like ink. GU immortals, so many GU immortals, I want to eat you all. After eating you, I will be closer to being human. This human-shaped immemorial desolate beast growled in a low tone, extremely excited. This is, a righteous path GU immortal pointed at the immemorial desolate beast, stammering in a shocked state. Zuo Yi Wei. Fang Yuan gritted his teeth subconsciously, feeling great pressure. The moment he saw this immemorial desolate beast, Fang Yuan felt like he was in the dream, but the shouting of the GU immortals around him, the destroyed halls, and the Super GU formation that was breaking apart reminded him that this was not a dream. Fang Yuan had not expected Zuo Yi Wei to come here. This legendary immemorial desolate beast had caused too much suffering and deaths in Southern Border. All of the righteous path GU immortals in Southern Border knew about it. With the appearance of Zuo Yi Wei, the hearts of the righteous path members wavered, their morale fell to rock bottom. This was a powerful existence on par with rank 8 GU immortals. Especially after the Super GU formation was destroyed, how could these righteous path rank 6 and 7 GU immortals defend against it? With their bodies, in this huge world of the 5 regions, there were only 2 people who could resist rank 8 as rank 7, they were Feng Juzhe and Lu Guanyi. We need to hold on. Don't panic, our GU formation has 4 layers. That was just the outermost 4th layer which broke. Start to move, come into the next layer of the GU formation. At the crucial moment, Kai Gui spoke up. He was the leader of Kai clan in this place. This Super GU formation was created by Kai clan's first supreme elder, Kai Kuyu. Kai Gui naturally knew some information that others did not. As expected, the GU formation activated and shined with a bright light. The collapsing stopped, and the outer formation was completely abandoned, a new line of defense appeared inside. The 3rd layer of the GU formation appeared before Zuo Yi Wei. It did not cover the entire dream realm, it was visible, but most of the dream realm was still concealed by the GU formation. The righteous path GU immortals quickly went inside. Fang Yuan was not an exception. He had to. Shadow Sect did not know about Wu Yihai's true identity, otherwise, Shadow Sect, which had a wisdom path rank 8 GU immortal, would not send just Lady White Rabbit to assassinate Fang Yuan. The enemy was in the open while he was hidden, this was a clear advantage. At the same time, Fang Yuan had another advantage, that was the Immortal GU house. An Immortal GU house from Wu clan was on the way. Most GU formations could not move, but Immortal GU houses could. And the power of Immortal GU houses could increase the more Immortal essence was used, they could resist rank 8 GU immortals. With an Immortal GU house to defend and escort him, Fang Yuan would have a greater chance to leave this place. But earlier, Wu clan's Immortal GU house was delayed along the way due to an unexpected mishap, was it Shadow Sect? Fang Yuan considered this as his thoughts turned dark. Tisk, so troublesome. Bai Ningbing looked at the GU formation's 3rd layer of defense, frowning. This is hard to destroy. He Lulan sighed. At this time, Ying Wuxie smiled coldly, transmitting to them, don't worry, just dodge. Fairy Miao Yin's, Bai Ningbing's, and He Lulan's bodies shook as they quickly flew back and retreated. Roar. At the next moment, Zuo Yi Wei roared and emitted a thunderously loud wave. Its voice burst out and created a sonic wave, pushing out the surrounding air and uprooting the trees and rocks, whipping up a storm. Next, Zuo Yi Wei breathed in deeply, its stomach bulged up. Its entire body expanded to double its size. Next, it opened its bloodthirsty mouth filled with sharp teeth, and a huge beam of light shot out fiercely. The gray-colored beam of light shot out extremely quickly, in the blink of an eye, it landed on the 3rd layer of the GU formation. There was a creepy silence. The 3rd layer of the GU formation was hit by the gray beam of light, as it was dyed gray rapidly. Earlier, Zuo Yi Wei had attacked the Super GU formation as well. The first few attempts were just trials, but the previous time was also the killer move Grey Knight. Together with He Lulan, Bai Ningbing, and Fairy Miao Yin, they destroyed the 4th layer of the GU formation. Most of the righteous path GU immortals did not manage to see these attacks clearly. But this time, they witnessed it firsthand, they saw how terrifying Zuo Yiwei was. As if heaven and earth became still, monochrome color enveloped the place, time seemed to be moving slower. For one breath of time. Boom! Another thunderous explosion resounded in the world, the immortals' eardrums were bursting. The entire world shook, the third layer of the GU formation was ripped apart, as if the previous attack was going to be played out again. The righteous path GU immortals were pale, they instilled their immortal essence into the GU formation desperately. When the tremors ended, the third layer of the GU formation was only half destroyed, it still existed. This was a super GU formation personally created by rank 8 GU immortal Kai Kuyu, together with a vast number of immortal GU and mortal GU from Southern Border's righteous path forces, it was displaying its power now. It managed to block the signature move of legendary immemorial desolate beast Zuo Yiwei. There were no injuries or deaths among the righteous path GU immortals. I am actually still alive. Someone almost cried from joy. This is Zuo Yihui's signature method, immortal killer move, Grey Knight. We actually defended against it. Someone shouted loudly. Kai Gui's forehead was full of sweat, he said, this is the super GU formation that my clan's first supreme elder set up, why would it be destroyed? If not for them attacking from both inside and outside earlier, the fourth layer might still be around. Immortal killer move Grey Knight, it is different from the one in my dream realm, was its form changed? After so many years, Grey Knight must have been modified. Did Zuo Yiwei modify it? Or did it have help? Is this help from Shadow Sect? Strange. If they had Zuo Yiwei as a tool, why did Shadow Sect not use it when they were refining Sovereign Immortal Fetus GU? Was it because they could not control it? Or is this all because of that rank 8 GU Immortal? Fang Yuan fell into deep contemplation. Fairy Miao Yin, Bai Ning Bing, He Lu Lan, they came to the Super GU formation again. Looking at the damaged third layer of the Super GU formation, they were not shocked nor disappointed. Because they did not come alone, there was Ying Wuxie, as well as many demonic path GU immortals and lone immortals. Shadow Sect lacked manpower, but not resources. Normally, demonic path GU immortals and lone cultivators lacked cultivation resources, they would pursue resources over their whole lives. Purple Mountain True Monarch endured the huge costs of spending resources to recruit a batch of demonic path and lone immortals. Humans die for wealth and birds die for food, money makes the world go round. Of course, these southern border GU immortals were not stupid, only after Zuo Yiwei appeared and used Grey Knight did they start to follow Ying Wuxie and show up. On the other hand, this showed that Shadow Sect had a good grasp on timing and human emotions. From these demonic path and lone immortals' perspectives, not only was there the wisdom path rank 8 great expert Purple Mountain True Monarch, there was also the legendary immemorial desolate beast Zuo Yiwei. This battle was decided already, they were going to win. It is all as Purple Mountain True Monarch predicted, we will attack using these holes in the GU formation. Whoever can kill enemies and expand the hole would get several times the reward. Ying Wuxie shouted. Shadow Sect's side started to clamor as they attacked the Super GU formation. The Righteous Path side also reacted. Quickly, seal the hole. We cannot let them in. I need time to activate the second layer of the GU formation, everyone, try to stall and fight for time. Kai Gui called out. Zuo Yiwei has already used Grey Knight twice, this is the limit. It needs to rest for a while, it is time to teach these demonic path scoundrels a lesson. Bada shouted. Fang Yuan squinted, he had been assessing Zuo Yiwei, he also saw that after Zuo Yiwei used Grey Knight, it was in a state of exhaustion, it panted as it remained on the spot, unmoving. This made Fang Yuan feel slightly relieved. There were so many southern border GU immortals here, many people were familiar with history, they knew a lot about Zuo Yiwei. After all, every time Zuo Yiwei appeared, it would cause disaster in southern border, lots of southern border GU immortals would need to work together, defending against and battling it. Southern Border's Righteous Path super clans had accurate information about Zuo Yiwei from their historical records. Chapter 1351, Chaotic Battle. Kill, charge. Block them, we need more time. Don't be afraid, so what if this is Zuo Yiwei, the GU formation is around, we can last until reinforcements arrive from our clans. Shadow Sect attacked, while Southern Border's Righteous Path defended desperately. The third layer of the GU formation was already half destroyed, cracks could be seen everywhere, it was of little help to the Righteous Path GU immortals, a chaotic battle ensued. Rumble, unceasing explosions, the collisions of wind, fire, water, and lightning, unfolded like fireworks in the sky. There was no probing, Immortal GU and Immortal killer moves were used from the start, the battle became heated almost instantly. You cannot defend this place. Fairy Miao Yin smiled as she flew in the air. Chao Silu was in front of her. Chao Silu was silent, the situation had changed too quickly. Earlier, the righteous path had the advantage, but now they were at a disadvantage. Even with the Super GU formation, they could only defend passively, they lost their initiative. For the righteous path GU Immortals, their only chance was to wait for reinforcements. Who are you people? You can actually mobilize the legendary immemorial desolate beast Zuo Yue. Chao Silu asked, paying close attention. Fairy Miao Yin laughed. The ones to end your life. Her killing intent rose, a crescent moon shadow appeared in her eyes. Immortal killer move, curved moon. This was a sight-based attack, because the aura was completely concealed. Once it was used, one would not be able to react in time, it was very difficult to guard against. Chao Silu was hit immediately. But soon, on the surface of her dress and skin, jade green light shone. Within the faint light, long willow branches formed, it was like ribbons made of branches coiling around her, she resembled a fairy from heaven. Swish swish swish, the jade willow branches were not just defensive, they quickly flew towards Fairy Miao Yin with impressive mobility. Fairy Miao Yin was stunned, she quickly retreated. She avoided the willow branches but could not defend against the shadow below them. One of the shadows shot up like a venomous snake, slapping Fairy Miao Yin's body. This is an attached move. Fairy Miao Yin could not conceal the shock on her beautiful face. Attached moves were like consecutive moves, split moves, and variation moves, they were special techniques in activating killer moves, they were hard to master for normal people. What was an attached move? Normally speaking, it meant two different immortal killer moves, one primary and one secondary. Like the willow branch attack that Chao Silu used, it was the primary move. The shadows below the branches were the secondary move, attached to the primary move. When the primary move was used, the secondary move would have a certain chance of getting activated as well, unleashing its effects. Fairy Miao Yin did not expect that Chao Silu would actually master such a difficult technique like attached move, she was caught off guard and was hit by the willow branch's shadow. A long wound appeared as blood started to flow out. On Fairy Miao Yin's beautiful face, it was really apparent. Chao Silu tittered. Oh no, I lost my concentration and disfigured you. If we fight anymore, you'll no longer be on par with me in beauty. Fairy Miao Yin snorted. Chao Silu took the initiative and attacked. There were countless jade willow branches around her. These rootless willows were formed from the killer move. They were agile and resembled dozens of long whips, lashing at Fairy Miao Yin. The attacks became more frequent. It was like a jade storm. Fairy Miao Yin was shrouded in whips. Not only did she need to defend against the whips, she also had to guard against their shadows. After all, a whip might come out at any time and attack Fairy Miao Yin. Splat splat splat. Lashing sounds were endless. Even though Fairy Miao Yin was putting up her defense, her clothes were still torn by the whips. Fairy Miao Yin retreated as she used her hands to shield herself from the willow branches. A moment later, her clothes were torn and her snow-white body was exposed. It was beautiful and alluring, men would have a nosebleed upon seeing her. Chao Silu pursued her along the way. But good times did not last. Her opponent suddenly cried out as a pair of slender hands appeared on her back. Fairy Miao Yin had 4 arms now. Her 4 arms defended herself as Fairy Miao Yin restored her steady position. It was easy for her to block those willows now. Chao Silu sighed to herself. This was Immortal killer move. Wondrous hand, profound sound. Fairy Miao Yin's signature killer move. Chao Silu knew of it. She had attacked rapidly earlier to catch Fairy Miao Yin off guard, to maintain her pressure and prevent her from regaining her composure. However, Chao Silu's tactic failed. Fairy Miao Yin managed to use this move in the end. Even though Fairy Miao Yin was facing huge pressure, she was not a newbie like Zhao Lianyun. Fairy Miao Yin did not make an error, she withstood the pressure and used her killer move successfully. With her success, the situation changed. Chao Silu slowly flew backwards, stopping her attacks and starting a battle of attrition using the damaged GU formation as she retreated. She had left the Super GU formation when pursuing Fairy Miao Yin, it was wise to return. It is my turn now, Sister Silu, you have to endure it. Fairy Miao Yin smiled, but her gaze was very dark. 4 hands started to move rapidly. Her smooth, long fingers were moving in a dazzling motion. Ding ding, dang dang. Cling cling, clang clang. With the movement of her fingers, sharp sounds could be heard whenever they touched. The sounds even caused sound waves to start appearing in the surrounding air. The sound waves were moving rapidly, with Fairy Miao Yin at the center. It quickly spread to the radius of a few hundred steps. The damaged third layer of the GU formation was breaking apart many times as quickly with the effect of the sound. The sound waves appeared quickly and vanished just as quickly. Chao Silu had a solemn expression. She quickly defended herself, as willow branches surrounded her entire body. The two were in a deadlock. And at another hole. Shang Clan Gu Immortal Shang Guili crossed his arms as he stood in front of the hole, looking at He Lulan. He had arrogance and disdain on his face. Just a rank 6 Gu Immortal, you dare to attack us, you are truly courting death. I will kill you first before reinforcing my allies. Saying this, he vanished on the spot. At the next moment, he appeared behind He Lulan. Next, he stretched out his right hand as it turned into a white bone claw, scratching at He Lulan's back. Plop. A soft sound echoed. The white bone claw ripped apart He Lulan's defensive method, stabbing into her back as blood splattered upon impact. He Lulan shouted in anger, turning around to retaliate. Shang Guili vanished on the spot again, appearing in the damaged formation once more. He Lulan missed her attack. She growled in anger, her expression was twisted, there were 5 deep wounds on her back. Shang Guili mocked in disdain. You're nothing much, I will take your life in the next hit him. But suddenly, his expression changed. On his white bone claw, He Lulan's flesh and blood were burning in flames. The fire was extremely special, it grew as it burned, in the blink of an eye, it covered Shang Guili's entire right hand. You fell for it so easily. He Lulan laughed. Immortal killer move, flesh blood fire. Dragon Man, a middle-aged Gu Immortal with huge nostrils, Chai Huo Shang, was bare on his upper body. He had a wide back and waist, his body's muscles were glowing red, like he was on fire. Every time he breathed, smoke came out of his nostrils. He was brutish and domineering, he stood on the spot and blocked the hole in the GU formation behind him. At least you are knowledgeable. Bai Ningbing had a plain expression, she stretched out her right arm, her jade fingers were covered in frost energy as snowflakes descended from the sky. Boom! A loud sound occurred around Chai Huo Shang. The ground caved in as he shot out like a cannonball, charging towards Bai Ningbing. Take this! Chai Huo Shang shouted in the air, large amounts of flames flew out of his nose and nose, even his pores were flaming. In an instant, raging flames filled Bai Ningbing's vision. Bai Ningbing had a cold gaze, she did not dodge, she watched as Chai Huo Shang got closer. Her lips curled up, she called out in excitement, come at me. Before she finished her words, she charged forward. Her body was tiny compared to Chai Huo Shang, this was like the collision of a fly towards a flame. Boom! An intense explosion, both sides attacked and were locked in the middle, dividing this battlefield into two. Half was flame and half was frost, they were repelling each other. Flames flickered with the power to burn all lifeforms, while the frost solidified the earth into an icy domain, freezing all lifeforms. Flames could not melt the frost, and the frost could not freeze the flames, there was no clear victor. When the flames and frost vanished, 2 figures appeared on each end. Bai Ningbing stood on the spot, excitement and concentration was evident in her dragon eyes. On the other end, the domineering Chai Clan Gu Immortal took several steps back, looking at Bai Ningbing in disbelief. Impossible, you are only a rank 6 Gu Immortal. Bai Ningbing smiled and her icy white teeth were exposed. I praised you for being knowledgeable earlier, it seems that I need to take that back. The moment she said, need to, Bai Ningbing charged ahead again. When she finished her words, she was right in front of Chai Huo Shang. She jumped into the sky and her right arm was raised up. She was like a deity of snow descending to the world, bringing with her an endless blizzard, her divine might was unstoppable. Next, Bai Ningbing's right arm slashed down at Chai Huo Shang like a giant sharp blade. White rabbit, you slut, die! Wu Liao had bloodshot eyes, filled with rage and hatred. Even though he was not on good terms with Wu and as they disliked each other, they were still Wu Clan Gu Immortals. Now that White Rabbit killed Wuan, Wu Liao attacked with hatred, wanting to avenge Wuan. But it was a pity, Lady White Rabbit who had transformed, or rather, Black Tigress, had rank 7 cultivation level, her battle strength had surged dramatically. Wu Liao was just a rank 6 Gu Immortal, he could do nothing to Lady White Rabbit, instead, his own life was in danger. Step down Wu Liao, you are not her match. Fang Yuan blocked Wu Liao, who was going to fight, he had cold killing intent as he stood in front of Lady White Rabbit. Chapter 1352, Fang Yuan vs Black Tigress. He. Black Tigress had a strange laugh, her beautiful appearance looked very twisted. Her clear innocent eyes were filled with sinister light, there were deep bags under her eyes, like she had not slept for a long time. Her eyeshadow was thick, like the wings of a black butterfly, extending from her eyes to her brows. Even though her appearance did not change much, she had turned sinister and vicious, her demeanor had changed completely, the innocent and weak form was worlds apart from this. White Rabbit true inheritance interesting. Fang Yuan's body shined in bright light. When the light faded, Fang Yuan had turned into a huge tortoise. Immortal killer move, divination tortoise transformation. Gu, the rank 7 formation path Gu Immortal Kai Gui coughed out a mouthful of blood. Damn it, damn it. He cursed continuously, looking ahead at the fragmented corpse of the Immortal Gu floating in front of him. This Immortal Gu was originally damaged by Zuo Yihui's attack. Earlier, when Kai Gui wanted to activate the second layer of the Super Gu formation, this Immortal Gu reached its limit and broke. The Gu formation activation failed, there would be a chain reaction and cause other Immortal Gu to be damaged. Kai Gui had to use his own body to endure the backlash of the collapsing Gu formation, in order to keep it from being destroyed. But he got injured in the process. Is the injury severe? Bada quickly came to check. Kai Gui swallowed the blood in his mouth, he had a pale expression like that of a dead person, very severe. This destroyed Immortal Gu is one of the main pillars. The second layer of the Gu formation has 300,000 Gu worms, but there are only 4 Immortal Gu of such importance. We need to find a replacement and activate the second layer of the Gu formation. This Gu formation has many link layers, without the second layer, the first layer will not be able to activate. After pausing for a while, Kai Gui shouted with a frantic expression, anyone who has Earth Path Immortal Gu, I need one pass to me. Now is the moment of life and death. Beside him, Ba Quanfeng and Bada looked at each other helplessly. The former was a Wind Path Gu Immortal, while the latter was Wood Path, they did not have Earth Path Immortal Gu. Kai Gui had to heal his injuries, Ba Quanfeng and Bada went to ask around. The reason why they had to ask one by one was because he needed to try and conceal this disastrous information. After all, mental state affected battle strength, the fewer people who knew, the better. Thankfully, among the 5 regions, southern border had the most Earth Path Gu Immortals. Soon, some people spoke up, they were willing to contribute their Earth Path Immortal Gu. Kai Gui had to choose, it was not easy to choose the Earth Path Immortal Gu, but he had to try and find the one closest to the one that was destroyed. Kai Gui's injuries had not healed, but he could not care. Next, I need to deduce this and try to add that Earth Path Immortal Gu into this Gu formation. My safety will be in your hands. This act was very risky, he was placing his life in the hands of others. But Kai Gui had a determined expression, he did not hesitate. He knew that there was no other way now, time was pressing, he needed to gamble. Bada had a solemn expression, nodding, I promise that I will defend your life. Even if Zuo Yiwei comes, he will have to step over my corpse first. He was sincere, these were not lies. In this situation, even if Bada had high battle strength, he could not resist Zuo Yiwei, the battle could not be turned around. He was not Feng Juzhe or Fang Yuan, who had reverse flow protection seal. Bada did not know that Wu Clan's Immortal Gu house was on the way. But the moment Shadow Sect attacked, he had immediately used his information path methods to inform Ba Clan. There were other Gu Immortals who did the same thing. Defending with all they had, that was the only way for everyone to survive. Like this, Kai Gui's attention and concentration was focused on the Gu formation. And Bada, who had the highest battle strength, was leading the group in defending the place. With Wu Clan and Chao Clan in trouble, their reputation had fallen greatly, Ba Clan's Bada became the most suitable leader. Bada did not let go of this chance. As the most important person to protect Kai Gui, he stayed at the back and observed the battlefield. All in all, the Righteous Path's defense was quite stable. The Righteous Path Gu Immortal elites were using the damaged Gu formation, they could retreat in time. Meanwhile, even though the Demonic Path Gu Immortals arrived imposingly, they lacked strong experts. It was not that Southern Border had no Demonic Path or Lone Immortal experts, but most of them had died in Yitian Mountain. Even though the Righteous Path also suffered great losses in that battle, compared to the Demonic Path, the Righteous Path was more stable, it was easier to produce Gu Immortal experts with abundant resources. One could imagine, unless something happened, at this rate, for the following period of time, Southern Border's Righteous Path would greatly suppress the Demonic Path and Lone Cultivators. Bada's gaze swept past Fairy Miao Yin, He Lu Lan, and Bai Ningbing's battlefield, eventually looking at Fang Yuan. Wu Yi Hai, he muttered this name, feeling some emotions. In the past, he wanted to suppress Wu Yihai and teach Wu clan a lesson. But now, they had to work together. Bada had a lot of ambition, he wanted to replace Wu clan and make Ba clan flourish. But now, with this strong enemy, he was willing to work with Wu Yihai, he had an open mind. Of course, this was temporary, once the crisis ended, Bada would deal with them again. With this event, Bada had a huge hold on Fang Yuan. Before the mishap occurred in Wu clan and Chao clan, Bada had been holding himself back, he did not use the Immortal opportunity business to find trouble with him. He had endured until now, there were finally results to be shown. Black Tigress jumped around, she was very agile, evading many Vajra thoughts. After her personality changed, this former Lady White Rabbit started to use dark path methods. Not just that, her rank 6 cultivation level turned to rank 7, it was simply unreasonable. But no matter how fast she moved, she was merely a bit faster than Fang Yuan's thoughts. Times were different now. If this was Fang Yuan had just obtained Vajra Thought Immortal GU, he might not have been able to handle Black Tigress. But now, Fang Yuan was very familiar with this move, thoughts scattered like rain, assaulting her and cooperating with each other, forming a huge web of attacks. Even though Black Tigress dodged them, she was still going to be overwhelmed by the countless thoughts. Immortal killer move, Cornered Tiger. Realizing that she was in a disadvantage, Black Tigress aura burst out as her toes landed lightly on the ground. Black liquid started to spread on the ground. A breath of time later, the water expanded to the size of a pond. 2 breaths of time later, the black water started to bubble. 3 breaths of time later, a lizard one with the size of a horse emerged from the black water. This lizard was black in color and had shiny eyes, it was not real, it was made from the dark path killer move. The lizard moved rapidly, spreading its limbs and moving like the wind, bringing Black Tigress to its back as she charged away. Compared to Black Tigress, Fang Yuan, who had turned into a divination tortoise, looked very slow. After he transformed, he stopped moving, he blocked the whole of the GU formation. Even though Fang Yuan did not move, the Vajra thoughts he created were like tiny tortoise shells, they moved agilely and circulated around the divination tortoise's body with an incredible number. Since the battle started, Fang Yuan had been using Vajra shell. The tortoise shell thoughts flew rapidly. Fang Yuan had a composed plan, he first used these thoughts to defend himself before sending the new ones outside. Black Tigress stood on top of the black lizard, she could move with ease but she gritted her teeth. On the surface, her speed was an advantage, she had the initiative, but the truth was, she needed to get past Fang Yuan's obstruction to attack the damaged formation. But Fang Yuan was blocking her way. Black Tigress tried to move every which way, trying to get past Fang Yuan. She moved around these tortoise shell thoughts and exposed vulnerability on purpose, but Fang Yuan did not fall for it, he defended himself firmly and continued to push Black Tigress out. Fang Yuan was a bit wary of Black Tigress' trump card. Even though Fang Yuan did not know its name, he saw how Wuan had turned into a puddle of black water after he got hit by it unknowingly. Black Tigress prepared that move for me. She wanted to meet me but I rejected her, thus she used it on Wuan. This means that the move has a small range, it is quite limited. Like Dark Assassination, even though the aura is concealed and it has great power, the flaw is evident. Fang Yuan created more and more thoughts, the tortoise shell thoughts were moving around without any gaps, it was terrifying. Black Tigress had to retreat, seeing so many tortoise shells, she was so angry her chest was moving up and down. This tortoise transformation really suits you, Lord Wu Yihai. She grinned, showing a cruel smile filled with killing intent. However, don't think my methods are just these. Take this. Saying so, Black Tigress opened her mouth and aimed at Fang Yuan, sticking out her tiny tongue. Her tongue was cute and pinkish, but her lips were black like ink, it was a clear contrast of black lips and pink tongue. Her tongue moved rapidly, it was like a cute neighbor's daughter making a funny face. But Fang Yuan felt a chill down his spine, he suffered a heavy injury. He quickly turned around and looked, he saw a tiny hole on his shell. This hole was only the size of a basin, it was nothing compared to the giant tortoise's size. But it was very deep, the wound was spreading outwards, black smoke could be seen rising from the hole, making a cracking sound. Chapter 1353, Tiger Lick. Fang Yuan's heart shook. What killer move is this? The divination tortoise's shell is the hardest thing on its body, yet it could not endure this attack. Even though my sovereign immortal body has the trait of non-conflicting Tao marks, my tough ancient desolate beast body still suffered such injuries. Black Tigress' battle strength was out of Fang Yuan's expectations. Her method was peculiar and could bypass even the divination tortoise's defense. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan did not dare to hold back, he quickly used rank 7 Immortal GU precaution. This rule path Immortal GU had already been added into Vajra Shell by Fang Yuan. Immediately, the original Vajra Shell killer move stopped working, a brand new Vajra Shell killer move was activated. Whoosh! Wind was created out of nowhere, the divination tortoise's aura changed. The brand new Vajra Shell killer move used a large number of time path Mortal GU, their effect was to eliminate the weakness of precaution Immortal GU needing 10 breaths of time. Thus, once Vajra Shell was activated, precaution Immortal GU's effect became active at once. The small tortoise shell thoughts expanded and became firmer, at the same time, the divination tortoise's main body started to shine in a metallic light, it also became darker. Black Tigress saw this and her expression changed, she licked again. The two were far away, but Fang Yuan still suffered injuries despite the distance. There was another hole on the tortoise shell, but this time, it was only the size of an adult's fist, the injury was light and there was no black smoke. The wound earlier had already stopped producing black smoke, the injury was expanding very slowly. Black Tigress snorted coldly, feeling unresigned, she muttered, "In that case, I will attack there." At the next moment, Fang Yuan felt his tortoise head go numb. Immediately, pain assaulted him, there was also a numb feeling as well. The injuries were not light. Fang Yuan quickly placed his head into the shell. Damn it! Black Tigress saw this and her eyes spewed fire from rage. Fang Yuan was very shameless, not just his head, his limbs and tail also went into the shell. Only the tortoise shell thoughts were still spinning and increasing in numbers, raising his defensive power and range once more. Black Tigress licked the tortoise shell continuously, but there was little use. She was in a predicament, there was nothing she could do to Fang Yuan. Wu Liao healed his injuries as he watched the battle, seeing this, he broke out in sweat, he thought, at this rate, when will Lord Wu Yihai be able to take revenge for Wuan, how many years would it take? Bada snorted in unhappiness. The other holes had intense battles, but Fang Yuan was calm and composed, there was little commotion. Fang Yuan easily hid inside his shell. He was thinking rapidly about Black Tigress' killer move. Killer moves could be directed to targets in certain ways. For example, a fireball killer move may need to form in the hands first, before being shot out towards the target, to have any form of impact. But where it flew, in what direction and towards what target, that would depend on the direction that the killer move was designed to move. Wherever the move was directed towards, the fireball would fly there. If the targeting was not impressive, the fireball would move straight, after leaving the hands, its direction could not be changed anymore. If the targeting ability was stronger, the fireball would be able to move in a curved manner. After leaving the hands, its direction could be tweaked slightly. And even stronger ones would have automatic homing abilities. Black Tigress killer move must also have a targeting ability. It is formless after activation, it is not as obvious as a fireball. But it definitely has a targeting ability, because it is not a wide-ranged attack, the damage is concentrated. Then how does it do that? By sight. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan activated his GU worms, creating a thick fog around the divination tortoise, surrounding it. What is this Wu Yihai trying to do? HMPH. Black Tigress was suspicious that Fang Yuan was using a new killer move, she quickly stretched out her tongue and licked towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was hit again. Not sight, is it smell? Fang Yuan used his method again, the fog became extremely smelly. Wu Liao, who was close by to him, had a twisted expression as he quickly used his GU worms to breathe internally. The smell spread in the air, soon, other battlefields were looking over. Wu Yihai is actually trying to break the other party's killer move. Bada's eyes shined, he could see Fang Yuan's motive. He snorted as the displeasure in his heart grew. There was usually little hope of breaking an enemy's killer move on the spot, experimentation was needed, and even if the reasoning was understood, there might not be the necessary immortal GU or method to counter it. Trying to break a killer move, it would result in a drawn-out battle. This is an emergency, but he still has the time to break the killer move. HMPH. If he has time, he should try to kill the enemy. Ba Quanfeng expressed the unhappiness in his heart. Bada did not say anything, now was not the time for internal conflict. Black Tigress hesitated for a moment, she stretched out her tongue and licked again. Another hole appeared on Fang Yuan's shell. Fang Yuan had a flash of inspiration. I get it, this is her sense of taste. Normally speaking, taste was experienced through the tongue, and GU Immortals' tongues were able to taste things from afar through immortal GU or killer moves, it was not hard. Every time she activates it, Black Tigress needs to stretch out her tongue. She and Shadow Sect are aligned, while Shadow Sect has food path true inheritances. Only such a non-standard path can deal such damage to my defensive divination tortoise transformation. Let me test it. The divination tortoise turned red, especially the shell, it was red as molten iron. Black Tigress licked and immediately cringed, arg so hot. The divination tortoise's redness faded, there was a strange smell in the sky. Black Tigress stretched out her tongue and licked, she almost puked from disgust, she frowned, so salty. The divination tortoise transformation changed again. Black Tigress stopped trying, she understood Fang Yuan's intention, this guy. He is actually trying to counter my killer move, he is not trying to use any immortal killer moves. Damn it. Black Tigress thought earlier that the divination tortoise's changes were the start of Fang Yuan's new immortal killer move. Thus, she interfered with him time and time again. Once she succeeded, Fang Yuan would suffer an intense backlash. She would have hope of passing this huge tortoise shell obstacle. Under such a situation, he still has time to try to deduce and counter my killer move. Fang Yuan's movements were not logical, the battle was so intense now, nobody had any time for this. But precisely so, Black Tigress fell for it. After realizing this, Black Tigress stopped using this move, she started to use other long-range methods. She punched with both fists as dark green fist chi moved around the troublesome tortoise shell thoughts, some were wiped out but some managed to land on the divination tortoise shell. Even though the damage was little, each time the punches landed, Fang Yuan's body shook uncontrollably. Evidently, this immortal killer move had rule path GU worms. Black Tigress was trying to prevent Fang Yuan from using an immortal killer move, it was a good strategy. It was taste, huh? Fang Yuan's head was still inside his shell. Even though he had a result, it was still far from truly breaking Black Tigress' move. Fang Yuan, however, was not in a rush. Black Tigress could not use this move anymore, her punches were of little harm to Fang Yuan. The original Wu Yihai had other methods, but they were all defensive in nature. Black Tigress was really overthinking it when she guarded against Fang Yuan's attacking moves, even though he had them, with this identity, he could not use them. If he tried, he would incur huge suspicions, his identity was likely to be exposed. Thus, this battle slowed down tremendously. Fang Yuan did not want to attack, or rather, he had no attacking moves, while Black Tigress could not go past this shell. After a long time, there were already 100,000 tortoise shells around Fang Yuan. Black Tigress felt like she was helpless, the vast number of tortoise shells made this an incredibly eye-catching sight in the battlefield. Bada's expression became even colder, he could not help but transmit, Wu Yihai, I heard you have 2 more transformations. Why are you still holding back? Quickly kill her and reinforce the others. Unless, you really have some relationship with this white rabbit. You can't bear to kill her. Fang Yuan heard Bada's transmissions but ignored him, pretending not to hear anything. Bada did not get a reply, he gritted his teeth in anger, his gaze towards Fang Yuan turned colder. Fang Yuan was thinking about his situation. Shadow Sect is definitely attacking to save Spectral Soul's main body. They control Zuo Yiwei, but the extent is limited, and the rank 8 GU Immortal Purple Mountain True Monarch has not shown up yet. The Righteous Path has the Super GU formation, we can hold on for a while. As long as we stall for time, reinforcements will come from all over. And I have Reverse Flow Protection Seal, I can resist rank 8 existences, they will not be able to defeat me. Purple Mountain True Monarch is a Wisdom Path GU Immortal, how can he not have a trump card? And these Righteous Path GU Immortals are far from being desperate now. I should conceal my identity and wait for a chance to take action. Maybe this time, I might have some great gains. Fang Yuan thought about it and realized this was a great opportunity. He had sufficient strength, but he needed to wait for the right timing. Shadow Sect was a huge threat to him, he wanted to exterminate them all. But Fang Yuan had not succeeded in any of his attempts so far. It was not that he did not try, or that he was not determined enough, but Shadow Sect's group was made of elites and geniuses. But now was a grand opportunity. Chapter 1354. The Might of Hei and Bai. Fang Yuan had thought that his pursuit would have no chance, but to think that Shadow Sect personally presented Fang Yuan this great opportunity. Because of Sovereign Immortal Fetus GU, Shadow Sect would not let Fang Yuan off. If Fang Yuan did not get rid of them and allowed Shadow Sect to grow further, he would end up like Ma Hongyun in the end. After he got rid of Shadow Sect, who would know about Fang Yuan's identity? Eliminating this biggest threat was Fang Yuan's best option, he could even get rid of the weakness of Connect Luck. After that, he would slowly develop and cultivate using the dream realm. Because of the sovereign immortal aperture, Feng Yuan had the greatest foundation in the world. 500 years later, Feng Yuan would have incredible strength, be it his cultivation level, battle strength, or wealth, it would be unimaginable. Feng Yuan does not know that the great era is already impending. During the Five Regions' chaotic war, he could either take advantage of the situation for opportunities or fight with brute strength. Heavenly Court might not even be able to do anything to him. If the situation developed well, by the time he reached rank 9, he would be one step closer to his goal of eternal life. This was Feng Yuan's cultivation plan. It was very realistic. Now was the best chance to get rid of Shadow Sect. How could Feng Yuan give it up? And Shadow Sect had no idea Feng Yuan was here. Feng Yuan was the one concealed. Who knew that Wu Yihai was him? Nobody in the righteous path knew, even his brother, Wu Yong had no idea. Undoubtedly, eliminating Wu Yihai and impersonating him to join Wu clan was a brilliant move. Even though there was a risk, if he did not do that, how would Feng Yuan get this prime opportunity? Feng Yuan had to make use of it. I might even be able to capture Spectral Soul's main body. With Spectral Soul's main body, I would be able to interrogate the soul and obtain all of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's cultivation memories and experiences. All of his soul path experiences, his perspective and gains in the door of life and death, countless GU recipes, killer moves, and secrets. Feng Yuan's greatest desire was lead soul into dream. With this killer move, as well as unravel dream and guts GU, Feng Yuan would be the #1 person in this world in terms of dream realm exploration. He would have an immense advantage. The entire world would be left in the dust, even Heavenly Court. Ding ding ding. Sound waves could be seen as ripples all around Chao Si Lu. Fairy Miao Yin's arms had grown to 6 in number, her fingers were moving elegantly, her attacks were much more intense than before. Chao Si Lu, however, was able to defend herself well. Her pupils had turned jade, her black hair had turned into willow branches that extended to her waist. The 2 southern border fairies were still in a deadlock. Damn it, I can't block it. I need to escape. A demonic path GU Immortal retreated as resolution flashed in his eyes. Boom, an intensely strong aura burst out from behind him. Cowardly rat, die, a righteous path GU Immortal shouted, stretching out his hand and grabbing the demonic path GU Immortal's head. Next, lightning flashed and thunder roared, deep blue lightning bolts shrouded this battlefield. The lightning flashes lasted for a moment before stopping. The opponent that the righteous path GU Immortal was holding onto had turned into a charred skeleton, with a barely observable human shape. HMPH, rat that doesn't know his limits, he dared to act arrogantly in front of me, Yi Hei Ting. The righteous path GU Immortal relaxed the grip of his hand as the demonic path GU Immortal's corpse fell to the ground, shattering into tiny black pieces. Everyone, your attacks are only like this. A righteous path GU Immortal with a slender body and tall nose bridge spoke with arrogance and disappointment. Don't be smug, Tai Clan's Tai Xinjian, we have been suppressing you all along, you have the face to say ugh. The 3 GU Immortals who were attacking Tai Xinjian ridiculed him, but their expressions suddenly changed. A strong and sharp aura burst into the sky, emitted from Tai Xinjian's body. The 3 GU Immortals quickly moved back, feeling on guard. Wind was blowing all around him, causing his clothes to flutter, but Tai Xinjian had calm emotions. He shut his eyes as he said slowly, "It is useless, I have already seen all your moves, all of your weaknesses are right before me with no secrets left. FCK your mother." A GU Immortal cursed, but before he finished, his body shook intensely. Puff puff puff. 3 sounds later, 3 waves of sword chi flashed, so quickly that it felt like an illusion. Heads flew, the 3 GU Immortals who were attacking Tai Xinjian were beheaded, losing all their vitality. Ha ha ha, He Lulan laughed loudly, she had severe injuries. Shang Guili had rank 7 cultivation level, but he looked at He Lulan with shock and wariness, he was no longer as relaxed as before. As expected of a Northern Plains GU Immortal, you are a battle maniac. Shang Bu Li was unwilling to give in, but his injuries were already close to his bottom line. Retreat. This thought appeared in his mind. He Lulan seemed to have noticed it as she mockingly smiled. Where do you want to escape to? What do you mean? Shang Guili immediately felt something amiss, a strong sense of danger filled his heart. Whoosh. Flames burst out of his mouth, before spewing out of his eye sockets, ears, nose, and other orifices. Blazing rampantly, instantly, Shang Guili was turned into a pillar of fire. His anguished cries resounded in the battlefield before he died. He Lulan stared with a cold expression. So what if you were rank 7? Quick, quick, I need more reinforcements. Chai Huo-shang retreated as he screamed. Compared to his earlier demeanor, he had lost all his fighting spirit, fear and anxiety filled his eyes. Before him, Dragon Lady Bai Ningbing walked slowly, approaching him step by step. She was extremely beautiful, it could move one's soul, but in Chai Huo-shang's perspective, she was extremely dangerous. He wanted nothing more than to escape the battlefield. But in this situation, at this time and place, if he tried to leave the battlefield, wouldn't he just become Zuo Yihui's food? Chai Huo-shang could only fight reluctantly. Bai Ningbing's battle strength was even higher than He Lulan. Because she had Bai Zhang's true inheritance, and all of the ice and snow path immortal Gu were compatible with her northern dark ice soul physique. Meanwhile, even though He Lulan had the great strength true martial physique, she used fire path immortal Gu, and the fire path methods her aunt left behind, she did not have much Dao mark amplification. Chai Huo-shang had already requested for help once, but Bai Ningbing killed the backup already. Of course, Bai Ningbing paid a price for it. Bada was commanding the battle. Upon hearing Chai Huo-shang's yells, his attention was drawn over. Tai Xinjian, please go and help Chai Huo-shang. Bada thought before transmitting. Okay, Tai Xinjian immediately flew into the sky, towards Bai Ningbing. His aura was stunning, he immediately attracted Bai Ningbing's attention. Her dragon pupils shrunk to pin size as an immortal killer move was activated. My aid is here. Seeing Tai Xinjian's figure, Chai Huo-shang felt great joy. But at this moment, because he relaxed his mind slightly, Bai Ningbing noticed his weakness and her immortal killer move was unleashed. I want you to die. Tai Xinjian, who was one moment late, burst out with rage. He could only watch helplessly as Chai Huo-shang turned into a popsicle, breaking apart into countless ice fragments. Bai Ningbing smiled, but her expression was plain. She looked at Tai Xinjian, saying calmly, my move is called Ice Shatter Death. Do you want to try it? Chai Huo-shang has been sacrificed. Even though this dragon lady is rank 6, her battle strength is first rate even among rank 7s. Bada's heart sank. He rapidly looked around the battlefield. The defensive line was still being maintained. The righteous path had the advantage, even though they were relying on the damaged third layer of the Gu formation. Even though there were sacrifices, Shadow Sect had even more deaths, their morale had fallen, some were wavering. The enemy only has 4 true experts. They are Lady White Rabbit, Demoness Miao Yin, the Dragon Lady, and that Fire Path rank 6 He Lulan. As long as we eliminate one of them, their morale will suffer a huge blow. Thinking of this, Bada's attention fell on Fang Yuan again. Fang Yuan had turned into a divination tortoise. He was still at the same spot with his limbs and head inside the shell. But there were already 300,000 tortoise shell thoughts. They swept through the battlefield. Black Tigress was pushed far away. Bada snorted again in anger, transmitting to Fang Yuan, Wu Yi Hai. Stop defending. As a Wu clan Gu immortal, do you have no courage to fight? Are you so afraid of dying? Let me tell you, you are an important person in this fight. You are the best hope to create an opening in this battle. As long as you kill Black Tigress and reinforce other areas, there will be a qualitative change. The balance will tilt towards our favor. Fang Yuan, the divination tortoise, was like a mountain, not reacting to his words. Damn it, this fellow is still acting like this now. I simply cannot believe it. Bada gritted his teeth, feeling stifled. I'm done. At this moment, Kai Gui opened his eyes. He stood up from the ground with a joyful expression. Success. Ba Quanfeng asked excitedly. Yes, I have already finished the deduction. Now, we have to arrange the Gu formation and activate the second layer. This super Gu formation has greater defense as we get deeper into the layers. It is not a problem to block Grey Knight. Kai Gui nodded. Good. Bada heard this and let out a sigh of relief. He looked at Zuo Yiwei, who was far away. This legendary immemorial desolate beast was still exhausted. It did not move from its original spot. It was still breathing in deeply. In Bada's heart, this legendary immemorial desolate beast was the greatest worry. Most of his pressure came from it. The situation is favoring our righteous path. Bada felt joy and gladness. But Fang Yuan was far less optimistic. Purple Mountain True Monarch has not shown up. What is he planning? Fang Yuan was getting more and more on edge. Chapter 1355, Crucial Traitor. At Yitian Mountain's location, around the Super Gu formation, while the demonic and righteous paths were fighting, another battle had come to an end. Clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building was undamaged. It was radiating with vitality, floating silently. The huge purple blood river formation was near the brink of collapse. The blood river was no more, only a lump of red blood was left floating around randomly in the dark purple space. In front of clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building, the 7 illusions demon Immortal was trapped in a ball of wind, unable to escape. He had no choice but to surrender. Victory was assured. Let me see your true identity. Wu Yong was unharmed. Green light flashed across his eyes. Immediately, the rainbow-colored lights surrounding the 7 illusions demon Immortal vanished like clouds blown by wind, dispersing. His true identity was exposed. The 3 righteous path Gu Immortals were all stunned. Chao Ji Kai stared with wide-opened eyes, gasping, Yao Zheng. It turned out that this 7 illusions demon Immortal was none other than a member of a super force, Yao Clan Gu Immortal Yao Zheng. He had originally fought with Wu Yiran over stunning Immortal's inheritance. During the 5th time, he had died together with Wu Yiran. His life tablet Gu in Yao Clan had shattered. Everyone thought he was dead. But to think that he was the 7 illusions demon Immortal. Good, very good. Yao Clan is actually like this. Tai Mian Shen said coldly. Yao Zheng smiled bitterly. This is my personal action, it has nothing to do with Yao Clan. Wu Yong saw that he was defending his clan to the end. He was not as demonic as they had expected. He asked, what made you think of the method to trap us? Yao Zheng's smile became even more bitter. I already have said that I am a minor character. Or rather, I am just a pawn. I was manipulated and forced to do this. My clan has nothing to do with it. Wu Yong's expression sank slightly. Then, the one who manipulated you is that rank 8 Gu Immortal from earlier. Tell me everything about him. Yao Zheng laughed loudly, tears rolling down his face. If I say that I do not understand that person, or rather, I have spent just about as much time with him as you, will you believe me? Tai Mian Shen interjected. Is it because of the 7 illusions' true inheritance? Yao Zheng nodded with a bitter expression. Tai Mian Shen sighed. To obtain the 7 illusions' true inheritance, you need to accept an information path alliance agreement. My clan analyzed and concluded that this is a trap. But what we do not understand is, there were many 7 illusions true inheritance inheritors who did not have to execute the contents of the alliance agreement. You are the first victim. Saying this, Wu Yong and Chao Ji Kai understood. They looked towards Yao Zheng with a hint of pity. At this point, what is there to say? Winner takes all. Whether you want to kill me or whatever else, it is up to you. Yao Zheng sat on the ground, devoid of any fighting spirit. Where is that rank 8 Gu Immortal? Wu Yong asked. He felt something amiss. Yao Zheng said all that he knew. I know as much as you do. I thought he was hiding inside the formation. Only until you found the crucial formation core and captured me did I realize that he had left long ago. Wu Yong heard this and the bad feeling in his heart intensified. He quickly grunted, immobilizing Yao Zheng and suppressing him in the bamboo building, before using this immortal Gu house to unleash a terrifying attack. Rumble. The purple blood river formation was completely destroyed. The clear sky could be seen again. The 3 Gu immortals were freed, but at this moment, before joy showed on their faces, their bodies shook. Oh no, so many days had passed. This purple blood river formation not only has wisdom path, blood path, phantom path, and information path effects, it even has time path methods. In this Gu formation, the 3 Gu immortals' sense of time was affected. They misjudged it. Even Wu Yong fell for it. He had always thought that the time he spent in the purple blood river formation was not long. But after breaking out of the Gu formation, he realized that so much time had passed. Oh no, it seems that the rank 8 Gu Immortal was not trying to fight us to the death, he merely wanted to trap us. Don't tell me, his real motive is. Wu Yong's heart sank. He quickly contacted his clan. The purple blood river formation isolated them from the outside world. They could not even connect to Treasure Yellow Heaven, not to mention their clans. Immediately, the 3 immortals contracted their clans and soon, their expressions changed. Large amounts of information entered their minds. The 3 immortals were stunned, to think that so many things had happened these last days. Gu immortals from Wu clan, Yang clan, Chao clan, Kai clan, Chai clan, Sha clan, Ba clan and others were engaged in a chaotic battle. Purple Mountain True Monarch's plan was to trap Wu Yong's group, creating a false image that he had died, so that southern borders politics would go into chaos. He had succeeded. Yang clan, Chao clan, and Wu clan whipped up a storm for their own benefits. Right when they were engaged in a battle for profits, over at the Super Gu formation, large numbers of people assaulted it. After receiving a huge amount of distress letters, the clans fell into panic. What is happening? What guts did these demonic path Gu immortals grow? How could they attack the Super Gu formation? Not just that, even a Northern Plains GU Immortal appeared. Even a legendary immemorial desolate beast like Zuo Yiwei was controlled. These Righteous Path clans felt that it was unthinkable. But among them, there were astute people. After realizing this fact, they quickly reacted. What happened recently could be put together as a huge shocking scheme. The mastermind's goal was the giant dream realm. Go, we will go straight to the Super GU formation. Wu Yong was resolute. They were actually able to cause a storm in southern border. I want to see who the mastermind is. Tai Mi and Shen followed after. Wu Yong had an anxious expression. My brother is still there, I hope nothing bad happened to him. At this crucial moment, Wu Yong still did not forget to maintain his reputation. Chao Ji-kai quickly cooperated. Lord Wu Yong, you care so much for your brother, you are truly loving towards your family and have a big heart, truly a role model of the righteous path. Rank 8 Immortal GU House Clear Jade Dripping Wind Tiny Bamboo Building tore through the sky, flying towards Yitian Mountain. Kai Clan First Supreme Elder was also doing the same thing. After receiving Kai Gui's distress letter, he immediately stopped contesting with Yang Clan. He brought a Kai Clan Immortal GU House towards the Super GU formation. Yang Clan was doing the same. Hu Clan, Yao Clan, and Shang Clan sent either GU Immortal experts or brought their Immortal GU houses along. These people did not know why Shadow Sect was attacking the Super GU formation. Because from start to finish, they were unclear of what truly happened on Yitian Mountain. They only knew some of the information that Heavenly Court purposely leaked. They knew that Heavenly Court had interfered and that the destruction of Zombie Alliance was related to the Battle of Yitian Mountain. They did not know the reason for the giant Dream Realm's creation, or that Spectral Soul's main body was inside the Dream Realm. Heavenly Court hid this information because it was afraid that some southern border super forces would help Spectral Soul. Even though they did not know the reason, this did not stop the super forces from placing great emphasis on the Super GU formation. Not only because the giant Dream Realm was there, but also because of Zuo Yiwei. This legendary immemorial desolate beast caused great losses and gave southern borders GU Immortal World painful memories whenever it appeared. Thus, southern borders super forces sent their people, and even Immortal GU houses, to deal with Zuo Yiwei. Currently, even though they were attacked by surprise, they have Kai Clan's GU formation and Kai Clan's GU Immortals there, they can defend themselves for the time being. While flying, Chao Ji-kai said. Tai Mi and Shen was silent. Wu Yong shook his head. To speak the truth, I am very worried. The other party has plotted this very deeply, their pawns are extremely well selected. If Yao Zheng was not exposed, who would have guessed that he was the 7 Illusions Demon Immortal? The other party could infiltrate a rank 7 member of a Righteous Path super force, I am afraid. Saying this, Wu Yong stopped. Tai Mi and Shen realized as he spoke. Afraid that they have an insider within the Super GU formation. Boom, the sneak attack was so sudden, it caught everyone unprepared. Ba Quanfeng, what are you doing? Bada shouted, attacking with rage. Ba Quanfeng was sent flying with Bada's attack, he was on the verge of death. Bada quickly struck and suppressed him before going towards Kai Gui. Kai Gui was heavily injured, his face was purple gold in color, blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. Just earlier, his deduction succeeded, when he was at a crucial moment of activating the second layer of the GU formation, Ba Quanfeng, who was behind him, attacked suddenly with a vicious blow. Kai Gui greatly trusted these 2 GU Immortals from Ba Clan, because earlier when he deduced the GU formation, they were guarding him wholeheartedly. But to think that Ba Quanfeng attacked at this crucial moment. Ba Quanfeng was just a rank 6 Wind Path GU Immortal, while Kai Gui was a rank 7 Formation Path GU Immortal, he was stronger without doubt. But earlier, Kai Gui was completely focused on the GU formation, he could not defend himself, he was hit by Ba Quanfeng when unguarded. Kai Gui not only suffered from Ba Quanfeng's attack, the GU formation activation failed and he suffered a huge backlash. At the next moment, he was near death, unable to do anything anymore. Ba Quanfeng, Bada screamed, his eyes were red, he stared at Ba Quanfeng. If he did not witness this, he would never believe that Ba Quanfeng was a traitor of the enemy. Surrender, Lord Bada, just surrender, you do not know how the enemy truly is. Ba Quanfeng was in poor shape, his aura was weak and his expression was pale, he was close to dying. Bada, however, saved him from the brink of dying. You will not die so easily, trust me, the clan will place judgment upon you, living will be scarier than dying, you will have a fate worse than death. Bada gritted his teeth, hearing his words, he truly hated this traitor to the max. Ba Quanfeng was very vicious. Undoubtedly, his choice of timing was impeccable. Right when they were about to succeed, he struck and destroyed the righteous path's hope. Not only did he hurt Kai Gui, he even destroyed the newly added Earth Path Immortal GU. Without the second layer of the Super GU formation, the righteous path was bound to lose. Chapter 1356. Fang Yuan salvages the situation. Damn it, this tortoise won't stop hiding. Black Tigress gritted her teeth. Hundreds of thousands of tortoise shell thoughts surrounded the divination tortoise in countless layers. Black Tigress had no way of getting close. With the increasing number of tortoise shell thoughts, she was pushed farther away by Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan defended like an unmovable mountain, but he did not relax his mind. Because Purple Mountain True Monarch had not shown up yet, Fang Yuan used his investigative methods to observe the entire place. Fairy Miao Yin and Chao Silu were two of the three current generation great fairies of southern border. They were fighting on par with each other, still stuck in a deadlock. He Lulan and Bai Ningbing also displayed battle strength that shocked Fang Yuan. Previously, when Fang Yuan was chasing them, they were still not familiar with their immortal killer moves, but now, they were extremely proficient, using them easily. This made Fang Yuan sigh once again. Shadow Sect's foundation was truly deep. Even in this terrible state, with Shadow Sect's help, He Lulan and Bai Ningbing still obtained such an increase in their battle strength. If Fang Yuan did not have such gains in Reverse Flow River, and used Dream Realms to raise his attainment levels after coming here, the speed of his growth would definitely not match these two immortals. However, even though He Lulan and Bai Ningbing were strong, there were no lack of experts in the righteous path. Tai Xinjian and Yi Heiting were first-rate experts among rank 7s, even though they were inferior to Wu Yubo, they were still able to deal with Bai Ningbing and He Lulan. The two pairs of GU immortals engaged in intense battle. Thunder roared as lightning flashed, a blizzard was blowing with countless shining figures. However, Zuo Yiwei has almost recovered. Fang Yuan looked at the battlefield. He did not forget about the strongest existence here. Wu Yihai, quickly return. At this moment, Bada's words were transmitted to Fang Yuan. What is it? Fang Yuan could hear something wrong from Bada's tone. He hesitated. I am defending the opening. Quickly come, we need you. Kai Gui's weak voice was also transmitted. Fang Yuan's heart sank. He quickly entered the hole and got to the inside. Seeing Ba Quanfeng and Kai Gui on the verge of death, Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk. An information path GU flew over. Fang Yuan grabbed it, instantly understanding the situation. Ba Quanfeng was a spy from Shadow Sect. Shadow Sect truly is everywhere. Fang Yuan's heart jumped, his eyelids were twitching. The situation was horrible. The Earth Path Immortal GU was destroyed too. Just earlier, the righteous path had fallen into a hopeless situation. When Bada had almost lost all his confidence, he heard Kai Gui say, "We still have our final hope, even though I can't do anything, there is still Wu Yihai. His formation path attainment is something that our clan's Kai Shang had praised. His formation path attainment level is similar to me, at formation path quasi-grandmaster. Let him in, we still can give it a try." Bada knew that Fang Yuan and Kai Shang had a close relationship, but this was the first time he heard confirmation from Kai Clan that Fang Yuan's formation path attainment level was actually so high. Normally, Bada would be wary and envious, but now, he was extremely glad about it. He quickly transmitted to Fang Yuan. Precisely so, he asked Fang Yuan to come back. The opening was filled by other righteous path GU immortals. This information is known only to us. Wu Yihai, do you have any confidence? Bada had a nervous expression. At this crucial moment, he could not spread news of this. Once everyone became disheartened and lost their morale, the righteous path would definitely lose. Confidence my ass. Fang Yuan cursed. He stared at Ba Quanfeng, his eyes filled with anger. Zuo Yiwei would only rest for some time. Earlier, Kai Gui had already spent most of it deducing the GU formation. Fang Yuan had less than 30% of the original duration left. To deduce a way to use a new immortal GU for this GU formation, in addition to countless supplementary mortal GU, and arrange them together to form the second layer of the GU formation, the difficulty was huge, extremely immense. Kai Gui knew about the difficulty, thus he said they could give it a try. The hope was indeed slim. Even if you are not sure if you can succeed, we can only rely on you. Give it your all. If the GU formation fails, Grey Knight will kill us all. Don't think you can escape. Zuo Yiwei is extremely ferocious, it is recorded in our bloody history. Our only hope is to defend ourselves using the Super GU formation. Bada urged. Fang Yuan was silent, rapidly thinking in his mind. Bada and Kai Gui did not know about Fang Yuan's true identity, but the truth was, Fang Yuan's situation was much better than theirs. I have reverse flow protection seal, as long as I use it, I can leave freely. Even if Zuo Yiwei pursues me, I can use the 5 regional walls to escape from him. But if I do that, my true identity will be exposed. Not only will I lose my opportunity here, I will be hunted by southern borders GU Immortal world. Ignoring anything else, Wu Yong will become a mortal enemy. I should first give it a try. There is still some time, I do not have to make that final decision yet. Fang Yuan thought of this and quickly walked to Kai Gui. Tell me about the secrets of the GU formation's second layer. Kai Gui's eyes were seeing darkness, he was pale as paper. His injuries were too severe, he was barely staying awake by using his GU worms. Firstly, we lack an Earth Path Immortal GU. This Information Path Mortal GU has all of the details of this Super GU formation. After saying that, his eyes closed as he fainted. Damn, Fang Yuan's heart sank. Kai Gui fainting was the icing on the cake. Even though Bada used his methods, it was useless. Fang Yuan almost wanted to use reverse flow protection seal and flee. In his opinion, without Kai Gui's guidance, with the need for an Earth Path Immortal GU, and also the time needed to deduce the modification, there was basically no hope. But he still looked into the contents of the Information Path GU worm first. After seeing it, Fang Yuan was staring wide-eyed, he felt extremely glad that he looked at it. 4 elements GU formation. Out of his expectations, this second layer of the GU formation was established on the concept of the 4 elements. Earth, water, wind, fire. It was a GU formation constructed of Earth Path, Water Path, Wind Path, and Fire Path Immortal GU. Without the Earth Path GU, the 3 Immortal GU of Fire Path, Water Path, and Wind Path were left. Earlier, Kai Gui was working hard to replenish that Earth Path aspect. Why is it so coincidental? I am not very familiar with other contents of Formation Path, but I had deeply researched the 4 elements concept. Back then, Tu Shi Cheng's training of his son in the Formation Path Dream Realm was quite traumatic to Fang Yuan. The 4 elements concept was known as an overly strict concept by later generations. Even without the Earth Path Immortal GU, I can use other Immortal GU to replace it. Earth Path is not necessary. Dark Path it is. Dark, water, wind, fire, these are also 4 elements. I can definitely construct the GU formation's second layer. Fang Yuan was feeling firm intuition regarding this. He believed in this, because he was a Formation Path Grandmaster. My concept will definitely work. Furthermore, with a Dark Path Immortal GU, we can also defend against Grey Knight more effectively. Fang Yuan suddenly realized that his understanding of Zuo Yihui's signature killer move was also not small. The reason? Because he had entered a relevant realistic dream realm. This dream realm was too difficult, Fang Yuan died countless times. He barely passed it using a vast number of uses of Unravel Dream. Fang Yuan had experienced Grey Knight in the dream. Different from now, back then, Zuo Yihui's signature killer move was different, it was a wide-ranged attack that filled the entire valley. But now, it was a dark gray beam of light, this was a modified version. No matter how many times it was modified, the core was still the same, Grey Knight was still Grey Knight. Precisely because Fang Yuan had experienced the original Grey Knight, he was confident of creating a super GU formation that could defend against it. However, this means I will need to contribute Dark Limit Immortal GU. This is my only Dark Path Immortal GU. Dark Limit Immortal GU is very useful in concealing my identity. Should I retreat now and leave, or stay here and take a risk, to see if I can find an opportunity to benefit? Fang Yuan hesitated before making up his mind. I want to fix the GU formation, but I do not trust anyone. Take Kai Gui and Ba Quanfeng and leave me. Block anyone from getting close to me. Bada knew what was important now, he said nothing, grabbing the 2 GU immortals and moving away a distance of a few hundred steps. Fang Yuan breathed in deeply, turning into a divination tortoise. A Wisdom Path Ancient Desolate Beast, his Transformation Path Dao marks turned into Wisdom Path, along with his Wisdom Path methods, Fang Yuan started to deduce. His progress was rapid, because he not only had the information on the GU formation, he also knew about the 4 elements GU formation, and he was even familiar with Dark Limit Immortal GU and Grey Knight. Roar! Zuo Yiwei suddenly raised its head, growling loudly. Shadow Sect's members had joyful expressions, quickly retreating and abandoning their enemies. Oh no, Grey Knight is coming. Quick, enter the GU formation. The Righteous Path GU Immortals did not know about the truth, they thought that this was the strongest defense. Quicker, are you not done yet? Bada could not help but urge, he was the most nervous one, if Fang Yuan did not succeed, he would die. I'm done. Fang Yuan's huge tortoise head let out a breath of air. Joy flashed in his eyes, dark limit immortal Gu flew out along with many mortal Gu. Bada was stunned before panicking, deep fear was concealed in his voice. This is a dark path immortal Gu, this Gu formation needs an earth path immortal Gu. I don't have earth path immortal Gu, I only have dark path. Fang Yuan replied unhappily. Bada's eyes turned, he almost wanted to hit Fang Yuan, he screamed, tell me if you do not have earth path immortal Gu, I can lend to you. You know nothing, shut up. Fang Yuan rebuked. Bada had lost all hope, he was about to berate Fang Yuan when his eyes suddenly enlarged, like someone had slammed the back of his head. Next, he was stunned to see that the second layer of the Gu formation activated, having an imposing aura that was vast as the sea. He actually succeeded. At once, Bada felt like he had gone to heaven from hell. He was dazed on the spot with his mouth wide open. Chao Si-lu and the rest arrived, seeing this peculiar scene. Bada lost his composure, he was in a daze, it was quite surprising. Bada, what's wrong? Why are you perspiring so much? Someone coughed and notified of this. Chapter 1357, Controlling the Righteous Path. Bada shuddered, when he regained his senses, his face went red as embarrassment flashed on his face for a second. Fang Yuan concentrated on manipulating the second layer of the Gu formation, before Kai Gui fainted, he had already lent the entire Gu formation to Fang Yuan, he was now the user of the super Gu formation. Ba Quan Fang's sneak attack, Kai Gui fainting, they all helped Fang Yuan. Very good, now, using the super Gu formation, I have a huge hold over others in this battle. It was not a waste of Fang Yuan's dark limit immortal Gu. This way, he had enough strength to wait for an opportunity. Earlier, if Fang Yuan used reverse flow protection seal to escape, he would allow Shadow Sect to escape too. But now, he chose to stay and had increased control over the situation, he only had to wait for an opportunity now. Of course, Fang Yuan did not let down his guard. He spoke to these righteous path Gu immortals solemnly, get away from me, if anyone gets close, I will consider them a traitor and expel them from the formation. What do you mean? The righteous path Gu immortals looked at Fang Yuan, who was vigilant, their expressions changed. At this moment, Bada explained for Fang Yuan, I agree with Wu Yihai, nobody is to get near him. Kai Gui fainted from his injuries, it was because of the attack by traitor Ba Quan Feng. He told the righteous path Gu immortals all about the incident earlier. The righteous path Gu immortals were all shocked, they knew now, if Fang Yuan did not salvage the formation earlier, the second layer of the Gu immortal could not be formed. These righteous path Gu immortals were glad about this, but were also increasingly wary of the Gu immortals around them. Bada looked at Fang Yuan before managing the situation, giving his orders. There were many righteous path Gu immortals, Bada could not awaken Kai Gui who had fainted, but that did not mean that the others could not. Ba Quan Feng was also interrogated. The other righteous path Gu immortals rested and healed their injuries in the meantime, preparing for the intense battle ahead. At this time, far away from the super Gu formation, Zuo Yihui's aura finally became calm again. Its huge black body was like an unmoving mountain. It slowly raised its head and opened its mouth, breathing in deeply. There were intense currents in the air, countless Gu worms mixed together into a complex aura, spreading outwards with explosive force. Its body began to expand like a balloon, it had an intense aura. When it reached its peak, it opened its mouth, as a dark gray beam of light shot out. The beam of light was incredibly fast, it landed on the second layer of the Gu formation with the speed of lightning. There was no sound or explosion. It was completely silent. But at the second layer of the Gu formation, there was also a grand, bright light. Red representing fire path, green representing wind path, blue representing water path, and black representing dark path, 4 colors fused together, defending against the gray beam of light. The Gu formation was creaking. The righteous path Gu immortals were all nervous. If this super Gu formation could not hold on, they would be meat on the chopping block, they might survive the attack if they were lucky, but the unlucky ones would disintegrate immediately. Many astute people started to observe Fang Yuan's expression. Fang Yuan was the person manipulating the Gu formation, his every action would affect their mood. Fang Yuan's expression was calm all along, nobody could read anything from him. But his calmness meant confidence and safety. The righteous path Gu immortals gradually relaxed. A while later, the dark gray beam vanished, while the colorful lights from the Gu formation's second layer also faded. We blocked it, ha ha ha, good job, Lord Wu Yihai. The righteous path Gu immortals cheered, looking at Fang Yuan in a new light. I was not wrong after all, Wu Yihai, you saved us all. Kai Gui woke up and muttered, feeling glad. He was in poor shape now, he still needed Fang Yuan to continue controlling the Super Gu formation. Chao Silu's eyes also turned to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had saved everyone in the righteous path this time and became a hero. Chao Silu did not have good feelings for Fang Yuan earlier, but now, looking at Fang Yuan who was standing straight, her heart was pounding as she has a wondrous feeling. Immortal killer move Grey Knight against the Super Gu formation, it was the contest of spear and shield. Eventually, the latter won and defended against this terrifying attack. As the light faded and dust settled, Zuo Yue, who was breathing roughly, looked at the Super Gu formation with wide-open eyes. The dream realm was not affected. It was huge, like a giant pot, with the bottom pointed at the sky, covering the vast land. In the second layer of the Gu formation, Fang Yuan, Bada, Chao Silu, and the other righteous path Gu immortals were protected. This Gu formation had lost its third and fourth layers, it could not conceal the dream realm like before, it could only shield a portion of the dream realm. We did not break through. Ying Wuxie, He Lu Lan, Bai Ning Bing, and the rest were greatly surprised. This was not what Purple Mountain True Monarch had told them. Not long ago, they had received Purple Mountain True Monarch's transmission. He said that the Gu formation would be destroyed, they had to attack during that opportunity to secure victory. Kai Gui had already lost consciousness, what could be the cause? Far away, at the edge of the dream realm, Purple Mountain True Monarch sighed deeply. This was troublesome, they had lost the greatest opportunity, but he had no choice but to strike regardless. Purple Mountain True Monarch, who concealed his figure, could not be detected by the others. After arriving at the dream realm, he had already prepared for a long time. At this moment, he activated his method. At once, the world changed colors. Rainbow light shot into the sky beyond the clouds. An unparalleled aura, grand and vast like a tsunami, cracked the Gu immortals' mental fortitude, leaving them in a state of shock. What is going on? The Gu immortals on Shadow Sect's side closed their eyes. The Super Gu formation was shaking intensely. The righteous path Gu immortals were all flustered. What is going on? What killer move is this? Fang Yuan's face flashed with nervousness as he announced. This immortal killer move is not targeting us or the Gu formation, it is targeting the dream realm. After an intense eruption, the rainbow lights did not fade away. Instead, cocoons of light were formed. The dream realm is vanishing, condensing into countless cocoons of light. Oh my, what method is this? It is causing such a huge commotion. Normal methods have no effect on the dream realm, except dream path killer moves. So that's it, these demonic path Gu immortals are after the dream realm. The righteous path Gu immortals called out. Among them, one looked at Fang Yuan sinisterly. I said that the immortal opportunity business was a bad idea. It allowed those demonic path Gu immortals to think of an immortal killer move to make use of the dream realm. This definitely has huge benefits, otherwise, how could so many Gu immortals disregard all consequences to attack us? These words made most of the righteous path Gu immortals' expressions change. Fang Yuan heard it and had no reaction. Bada snorted angrily, looking at the Sha clan Gu immortal as he shouted, "Shut up." At this moment, he was still trying to sow discord with the enemy right in front of them, and most importantly, he was angering the key person, Fang Yuan. This was simply too stupid, Bada was furious. But at the next moment, this Sha clan Gu immortal vanished on the spot, appearing outside the Gu formation. Why did he go out? The righteous path Gu immortals were stunned, they asked this. Fang Yuan sneered as he said, "This person has ill intentions, he tried to sow discord, so I sent him outside. After all, trash can be recycled, he can probe out the enemy's ability." Rubbish, who gave you the authority to do this? You are disregarding our rights. Quick, let our clan's Gu immortal back in. Quick. Fang Yuan smiled coldly as the other Sha clan Gu immortal who was screaming also vanished. At the next moment, he appeared outside the Super Gu formation, in the outside world. Looking at the huge dream realm and the flickering Super Gu formation, he was stunned. Wu Yihai, Bada was anxious, almost jumping up. Are you messing around on purpose? Fang Yuan looked at him lightly and said, "Make a din and you will leave too." Bada was dumbfounded. The other righteous path Gu immortals. Bada's chest was moving up and down from rage, his face was flushed red, but he spoke. Don't forget, the immortal GU of all our super clans were used to create this super GU formation. He was making a threat. But Fang Yuan chuckled. Do you think that at this moment, you can still recall your GU worms? Haven't you noticed that you have already lost your connection to these immortal GU? The immortal's expressions changed. Kai Gui said solemnly. Sigh, everyone, don't bother. This was the GU formation created by our clan's Lord Kai Kuyu. Earlier, when designing this formation, to guard against traitors and prevent the GU formation from being destroyed from the inside, the first and second layers can only be controlled by one person, others cannot interfere. Even I cannot control the GU formation now, unless Wu Yihai transfers the ownership back to me again. Saying this, Kai Gui looked at Fang Yuan sincerely and earnestly. Kai Gui, you are heavily injured, you have contributed too much for us, you should heal yourself now. Fang Yuan smiled coldly, crushing Kai Gui's hopes immediately. Bada was fuming with rage. The immortals were also flustered. In this situation, weren't they at Fang Yuan's mercy? Chao Silu and the others who were close to Wu clan were fine, but in Ba clan, Yao clan, Yang clan, and others, their GU immortals had conflict with Wu clan, their expressions were very ugly. Kai Kuyu, this old fool. Some people cursed in their minds. Kai Kuyu had secretly dealt a blow to these super clans, under the justification of defending this dream realm and GU formation to keep it safe. But because of this change of events, Kai clan lost control and an outsider took over as the person in charge. Don't worry, I, Wu Yihai, am not a person who acts without reason. In this situation, us righteous path clans need to work together through thick and thin to get through this crisis. My Wu clan is still number one in the righteous path. With such a situation occurring, we will definitely come forward and take on this responsibility. Chapter 1358. Reappearance of Pure Dream Reality Seeker. I have good news to share. My Wu clan has an immortal GU house secretly on the way here, to bring me back to Wu Yi Mountain. It is not far now, it is our closest reinforcement. As long as we work together and cooperate well, we can definitely leave unscathed. We might even do a merit for the righteous path. For everyone living in southern border, we will contribute greatly to this region. Fang Yuan spoke rapidly. Bada's expression turned very ugly. Chao Silu's eyes were shining, looking at Fang Yuan, her gaze did not shift, she was filled with admiration towards him. Kai Gui had once gave Fang Yuan the information path GU worm and told him all about the super GU formation. Thus, when Fang Yuan realized he could control this GU formation by himself, he decided to lead all of the righteous path GU immortals. Sha clan's 2 GU immortals were unlucky people that Fang Yuan had used to assert his dominance. After that, he gave great news regarding the immortal GU house. With both the stick and carrot, he successfully got the righteous path GU immortals under him, becoming a force that he could manipulate. There were no lack of elites in the righteous path, but Fang Yuan had the initiative. His advantage was too large. Because of this situation, they had no choice but to obey him. Fang Yuan's actions turned the situation around. Right now, even Bada had to listen to him. After successfully controlling these righteous path GU immortals, Fang Yuan turned his attention towards the outside world. Many cocoons of light had already formed, quietly floating in the sky. The price for creating these light cocoons was the dream realm. Large pieces of the dream realm vanished entirely. The originally round and intact giant dream realm now had holes in it. It was like cheese that was eaten by rats with holes all over. More than 20 cocoons of light had formed, and more of them were gradually condensing. Seeing this, Fang Yuan sighed. Shadow sect's methods were truly endless. Indeed worthy of the super force created by a demon Venerable which had 100,000 years of accumulation. Crack. At this time, waves of cracking noises could be heard from the first cocoon. Next, cracks appeared on the light cocoon. Bam! The cocoon of light broke as a nude person fell out. Before landing on the ground, Purple Mountain True Monarch, who had waited for a long time, acted rapidly. Large numbers of GU worms flew out and surrounded the pure dream reality seeker physique body, before entering their immortal aperture. Soon, this person opened their eyes, their entire body was covered in clothing as they flew towards the edge of the dream realm without stopping. The other righteous path GU immortals were stunned, but Fang Yuan's eyes were wide open. This is the pure dream reality seeker physique. Fang Yuan had seen it before, seeing it again, he was still stunned. In the past, Ying Wuxie had the pure dream reality seeker physique. This immortal body was a man-made extreme physique. Shadow sect's old man Yan Shi had researched it for a long time. How did Purple Mountain True Monarch get a hold of this method? Don't forget, Ying Wuxie was still alive, and Purple Mountain True Monarch had entered the river of time through great risks, interacting deeply with spectral souls while inside the Red Lotus True Inheritance. Purple Mountain True Monarch had wanted to cooperate with Fang Yuan, but because of his low information path foundation, he rejected it. Thus, even though Purple Mountain True Monarch knew that Fang Yuan had methods to deal with the Dream Realm, he could not make use of them. He wanted to save Spectral Soul's main body. Other than the Super GU formation, there was also the huge obstacle, the Giant Dream Realm. Fang Yuan was not helpful, thus, Purple Mountain True Monarch placed his focus on the pure Dream Reality Seeker physique. This way, with the bulk of the Dream Realms vanishing, he could get to the center of the Dream Realm and save Spectral Soul. This means, the pure Dream Reality Seeker physique is created like this. Shadow Sect's methods are truly fearsome. Even though Fang Yuan had fought against Ying Wuxie back then, he did not know about his origin. After finally seeing it, Fang Yuan shouted loudly, ordering the Righteous Path GU Immortals, "Quick, destroy all these cocoons. We need to kill the one who just left." "What is going on? Wu Yihai, what do you know? Tell us." The Righteous Path GU Immortals asked. But at the next moment, they were teleported by Fang Yuan, to the outside of the Super GU formation. The FCK, not even saying a word, "Who does he think we are? Wu Yihai, you are using our clan's Immortal GU, don't go overboard." Even Chao Silu was sent out. This southern border fairy was a little dazed, she could not accept it. Sha clan's 2 GU Immortals saw that so many Righteous Path GU Immortals had landed in their plight, they felt extremely satisfied, they shouted loudly to take down Wu Yihai. But nobody gave them any attention. In this situation, who would dare to offend Fang Yuan, who controlled the Super GU formation? Fang Yuan transmitted, "If you do not want to die here, listen to me. These enemies will grow stronger with time, now is the best time to eliminate them." While the others hesitated, Wu Liao had already listened to Fang Yuan and acted. Next, GU Immortals close to Wu Clan including Chao Silu also moved. But because Fang Yuan shifted her out along with the others, this woman, who was one of the 3 great fairies of southern border, had an ugly expression and mood. These people acted quickly. Soon, the Righteous Path GU Immortals started to fight. One hand, Fang Yuan controlled the Super GU formation, he controlled their safety. Secondly, the Righteous Path forces had deep interest in exploring the Dream Realm. They had desire towards these immortal bodies created from the Dream Realm. As long as they captured one of them and researched it, their clan's dream path development would rise rapidly. Only Sha clan's 2 GU Immortals were hesitant. But Fang Yuan did not forget them, he transmitted, "As long as you each kill a cocoon, I will spare you and let you return to the GU formation." Sha clan's GU Immortals were furious, they gritted their teeth, but they had no choice. After looking at each other, they acted according to Fang Yuan's words. Almost all the Righteous Path GU Immortals had moved, killing and destroying the cocoons of light. Only Fang Yuan stayed in the Super GU formation alone, overseeing the battle from the base. It was truly relaxing. Strive for every second. The pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies broke out of the cocoons of light as they flew out. At the same time, when the cocoons were destroyed, the dream realms that had vanished appeared again. Spectral Soul's main body is inside the Dream Realm. Shadow Sect has planned this well, creating pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies to obscure our vision. Among these flying pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies, there might be Spectral Soul's remnant soul. Fang Yuan stared as he controlled the Super GU formation, manipulating the battlefield intently. This Super GU formation was built around the giant Dream Realm originally. Even though only the second layer of the GU formation was active now, Fang Yuan could still control half of the battlefield, he could teleport GU Immortals nearby. Not only did the Righteous Path GU Immortals act, Fang Yuan also manipulated the GU formation, using its power to destroy the cocoons. Unfortunately, this Super GU formation was built on the basis of defense, it was pitifully weak in attack, far weaker than Fang Yuan's own attacks. Kill. At this moment, shouting could be heard. With Fairy Miao Yin, He Lu Lan, and Bai Ningbing leading, Shadow Sect's GU Immortals had arrived. This wave of GU Immortals were far less in numbers, but in this complex battle situation, the disadvantage in numbers was easy to cover. The original giant Dream Realm was intact, resembling a turned-over pot covering the ground. Next, because of the pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies forming, large pieces of the Dream Realm went missing. Some cocoons of light were destroyed by Righteous Path GU Immortals, and the Dream Realm appeared again, but it was much smaller than before. This caused the dream realm to not be as complete as before. There was a difference. Some of the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies were killed and created a huge dream realm on the spot. Because the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies had flown away and were not at the original spots, this caused patches of dream realms to be formed outside of the original dream realm. Don't forget, this giant dream realm itself had movement. Thus, large patches of dream realms were all over the place. Some overlapped while some were isolated, and some were only a thin line away from being connected. They were in the sky and on the ground. The terrain was truly very complicated. When fighting here, GU Immortals had to be very wary. They had to guard against the dream realms and could not fall into dreams. Creating so many pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, it must be Purple Mountain True Monarch. But where is he? Fang Yuan looked around using the Super GU formation, but he could not find Purple Mountain True Monarch. Rumble. With an intense sound, the Super GU formation burst out with power, as a shadow flew towards a pure dream reality seeker physique body that had just broken out of its cocoon, crashing onto it like a mountain. Suppressed. Without GU worms to help them, the pure dream reality seeker physique body was easily suppressed, before the Super GU formation teleported them to Fang Yuan. The pure dream reality seeker physique body stared at Fang Yuan fiercely, tied by black chains and unable to move. Fang Yuan sized it up, his eyes shined brightly. Interesting, if I can capture a few more, I might be able to deduce this method of shadow sect and create my own pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. This is the extreme physique of Dream Path. Even though it has a short lifespan, it might be able to help me resolve huge issues in critical moments. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan searched for purple while using the Super GU formation to capture newly formed pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. The second layer's coverage was less than half of the dream realm, while the domain he controlled was even smaller. But cocoons of light continued to form. As Fang Yuan struck multiple times, he actually captured close to 10 pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. He soon had a shocking discovery. These pure dream reality seeker physique bodies did not have rising cultivation levels as time passed. Among them, some had rank 6 immortal bodies while others were mortals. Only a very small number had rank 7 cultivation level. Chapter 1359, Heavenly Court's Interference. Fang Yuan also found something interesting. The time that these pure dream reality seeker physique bodies could live was inversely correlated to their cultivation level. The higher their cultivation level, the shorter the duration they could live. In contrast, those GU Master Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies could live for 2 to 3 years. They were good research material for Fang Yuan. He had ample time to do so. Earlier, I was wondering why Shadow Sect did not use the method to mass-produce Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies during the Battle of Yitian Mountain if possible. Now it seems, the Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique that created Ying Wuxie was not this simple. In order to save their main body, Shadow Sect had to use this method to create many pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, to disperse and get rid of the dream realms. They have great determination. Fang Yuan sighed as he realized Shadow Sect's firm and determined attitude. Not only did Fang Yuan capture some pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, the other Righteous Path GU Immortals were not stupid, they also had some captives. These pure dream reality seeker physique bodies were the Dream Path fruits of Shadow Sect's research. Once anyone successfully researched on them, they would have an explosive breakthrough in the exploration of dream realms. Shadow Sect did this without hesitation in order to save Spectral Soul's main body. The scene was very chaotic. Purple Mountain True Monarch was not discovered. He was still continuing to create more pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. More and more cocoons of light were starting to appear in the dream realm area. Pieces of dream realms were cluttered together in a messy fashion, creating a complex terrain. Both the Righteous Path and Demonic Path were surrounding the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, engaging in fierce battles. Even though Fang Yuan's side was doing their best to obstruct them, because the battlefield was too chaotic, some pure dream reality seeker physique bodies managed to leave the battlefield amidst the confusion. Damn it, Spectral Soul's main body might be hiding among these bodies. Fang Yuan observed and was about to attack from afar, when suddenly, light that was sharp as a needle descended from the sky. Instantly, the pure dream reality seeker physique body's skull was pierced. This white light that was extremely thin was very sharp. It moved down from the skull of the pure dream reality seeker physique body and penetrated his entire body. It appeared instantly and vanished just as quickly. The pure dream reality seeker physique body that was hit was rank 6. He instantly felt that his body had no strength. He was extremely weak. He showed suspicion on his face as he raised his hand to touch the top of his head. Next, he placed his hand in front of him and saw that there was blood mixed with brain matter. His expression changed abruptly, there was disbelief and fear. Next, his vision turned dark as he lost his life. His corpse fell onto the ground from the sky like a rag doll. Instantly, blood sprayed out, bones were broken, it was almost a pile of mush, the body was completely dead. Who is it? Fang Yuan saw this and his pupils shrunk. He was the person in charge of the situation, among the righteous path, he was the first to observe this. Meanwhile, on the demonic path's side, Purple Mountain True Monarch was creating cocoons of light while managing the situation. Seeing this, he was not confused, he frowned deeply, Heavenly Court finally acted. He had expected this, he had some arrangements in White Heaven, Heaven Overseeing Tower was obstructed for a while. But unfortunately, Fang Yuan salvaged the situation, Purple Mountain True Monarch's plan was greatly disrupted. The Super GU formation and the Righteous Path GU Immortals greatly hindered Purple Mountain True Monarch's plan to saving his main body. The best timing was lost, Heaven Overseeing Tower broke free of the obstruction and finally acted, joining this huge battle. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. After several soft sounds, several small traces of white light shot out and easily killed all of the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies who tried to leave the battlefield. Next, a grand immortal GU house appeared from the sky with shining light, as if a deity had descended upon the battlefield. Such an incredible sight attracted the attention of many GU immortals, they quickly looked up at the sky. A few of them were dazed, but most GU immortals instantly recognized Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heavenly Court's Heaven Overseeing Tower, it was too famous. Heavenly Court, almost all the GU immortals were intensely shocked. Heavenly Court's imposing entrance made this chaotic battle go into even more uncertainty. At the top of Heaven Overseeing Tower, Duke Long crossed his hand and stood upright like a tower, observing the entire battlefield. Spectral soul is too devious, we cannot let a single pure dream reality seeker physique body off, they need to die. Of course, these pure dream reality seeker physique bodies could just be distractions, spectral soul might be lurking in other GU immortals' bodies to escape. Thus, all of the GU immortals present need to be killed too, it is better to be safe than sorry. Yes. Behind Duke Long, Fairy Ziwei and the GU immortals she led responded in unison. Duke Long pondered before saying, we will kill Shadow Sect before eliminating the righteous path. But if anyone tries to leave the battlefield, no matter who, we will exterminate them. Heaven Overseeing Tower pressed down on the battlefield like an imposing mountain with vast power. The chaotic battlefield froze. Heaven Overseeing Tower had the greatest battle strength, its movement decided the flow of this battle. The Righteous Path GU Immortals' hearts were pounding. Heavenly Court, these were Central Continent GU Immortals, were they reinforcements? Shadow Sect's side fell into panic. Evidently, Heavenly Court and Shadow Sect were enemies. Fang Yuan's expression was grim, looking at Rank 9 Immortal GU House Heaven Overseeing Tower, he frowned deeply. He had somewhat expected this to happen. Heavenly Court appeared again, the situation is horrible. They actually rebuilt Heaven Overseeing Tower in such a short time. I wonder how many Rank 8 GU Immortals came this time. Heaven Overseeing Tower's appearance was a huge blow to Fang Yuan's plans. But thankfully, Fang Yuan was inside the Super GU formation, it could defend against Heaven Overseeing Tower's might. Fang Yuan had the experience of battling against Heaven Overseeing Tower. Even if the strongest attack from Fate GU was used, Fang Yuan estimated that this Super GU formation could endure one attack. Fang Yuan decided to observe for now, but Purple Mountain True Monarch could not do nothing. He was a Rank 8 Wisdom Path GU Immortal, how could he not have backup plans? Purple Mountain True Monarch transmitted. Zuo Yiwei, according to our agreement, your enemy is here, what are you waiting for? They are from Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court, legendary immemorial desolate beast Zuo Yiwei heard this as its body shuddered, intense rage and hatred could be seen in its eyes. This rage and hatred was embedded into its soul, even after 1,000,000 years, it still felt this deeply. Heavenly Court, Zuo Yiwei roared, the sound waves burst out and swept an immense surrounding area. Boom! At the next moment, vast darkness burst out from Zuo Yihui's body. Its body was huge to begin with, now, under the cover of the dark mist, it became increasingly terrifying. Next, its legs bent as its body arched, it bared its teeth and stomped the ground. Bam! There was an intense sound, the ground shook harshly. A huge pit was created under Zuo Yiwei, while it shot out like an arrow, through the sky, towards Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower burst out with power, but Zuo Yiwei was covered in dark mist. It was evidently an immortal killer move, allowing it to fly and defend itself. Zuo Yiwei moved like a bamboo spear or a huge meteorite. In a few breaths of time, it traveled 100 li, arriving at Heaven Overseeing Tower. HMPH. Insolent fool. Duke Long snorted in disdain. His majestic body shook as his thoughts collided. Heaven Overseeing Tower burst out with an intense white light. At once, the world turned white. Heaven Overseeing Tower's strongest method, Fate Vanquish. Rank 9 Immortal GU Fate's power was unrivaled. There was no way of dodging. As long as one was not rank 9, no matter how powerful, they would lose to this move. Light was everywhere, white light, filling the world from all directions. The GU Immortals exposed to the light, be it righteous path or demonic path, coughed out blood. They were instantly heavily injured, most fainted on the spot. At once, half the battlefield was cleared. There were some GU Immortals who were shielded by the Dream Realm, they were not exposed to the light and were saved. With a loud sound, even Zuo Yiwei could not block the attack of fate, it crashed to the ground. It coughed out blood, but soon, it crawled up and opened its mouth, roaring at Heaven Overseeing Tower. In Heaven Overseeing Tower, the central continent GU Immortals all had shocked expressions. Even Duke Long was surprised. Zuo Yiwei did not die from Fate Vanquish, that was normal. It was far sturdier than normal immortal GU houses, and had incredible regenerative properties. Zuo Yiwei was the problem of Southern Border for ages. Southern Border's GU Immortal world had mobilized immortal GU houses to kill it, but could not, they only defeated it. But Zuo Yihui's injury was far less severe than Duke Long's expectations. GU Immortals could cultivate, so could Zuo Yiwei. After all these years, Zuo Yiwei had been getting stronger. Moreover, it was helped by Shadow Sect this time. Purple Mountain True Monarch purposely lent it a lot of immortal GU and large numbers of immortal killer moves. Zuo Yiwei was fully armed. Zuo Yiwei stood up again, half of its injuries had healed. This was a terrifying recovery speed. It pounced at Heaven Overseeing Tower again fearlessly. A cold light shined in Duke Long's eyes, he used Fate Vanquish again. Zuo Yiwei was hit and landed on the ground again, but soon, it stood up, even though it was injured again, it was full of vitality. Central Continent's GU Immortals were intensely shocked. This is the battle strength of a legendary immemorial desolate beast. It is truly stunning. It is a bit troublesome. Fairy Ziwei had a grim expression. Zuo Yihui's battle strength was out of her imagination, even though Heaven Overseeing Tower had Fate Vanquish, it could not be used consecutively. After all, rank 9 Immortal GU Fate still had injuries on it. Chapter 1360, Fang Yuan's Desperate Situation. Roar. Zuo Yiwei growled. This time, it flew to the sky, and stayed in midair to attack Heaven Overseeing Tower. Duke Long sneered, activating Heaven Overseeing Tower. Turn Phantom. Zuo Yiwei missed its target. The entirety of Heaven Overseeing Tower, including the GU Immortals inside, turned Phantom. Normal methods could not hit them at all. This is on purpose, to lure me to attack. Purple Mountain True Monarch, who was concealed, saw this as bright light flashed in his eyes. Shadow Sect had methods to counter the Phantom form. But Purple Mountain True Monarch did not act against the Phantom Heaven Overseeing Tower. Because he was not Spectral Soul's main body, he did not have all the immortal GU needed to counter the Phantom form. Even if he used them, against Heaven Overseeing Tower, it was too inefficient. He did not act, Duke Long thought to himself. In the past, during the Battle of Yitian Mountain, Spectral Soul had sealed the Phantom Heaven Overseeing Tower and prevented it from returning to solid. Duke Long had specially prepared well against this killer move, but Purple Mountain True Monarch was really patient, he did not do anything. Duke Long controlled the Phantom Heaven Overseeing Tower and tried to get closer to the Dream Realm. Once the huge Heaven Overseeing Tower entered the Dream Realm, it started to fade from its phantom form. Some GU worms by the fringe were devoured by the Dream Realm. Phantom methods are useless too. Duke Long's heart shook, bringing Heaven Overseeing Tower away from the Dream Realm. This was the first time Duke Long was seeing an actual Dream Realm. This was something related to Great Dream Immortal Venerable. Duke Long was quite surprised. Even though Heaven Overseeing Tower was in phantom form, the Dream Realm still devoured a corner of it. The Central Continent GU Immortals in Heaven Overseeing Tower were quickly trying to repair it. Without any Dream Path methods, even Heaven Overseeing Tower will get lost inside the Dream Realm. Duke Long concluded. One skill to dominate the world. Back then, Ying Wuxie with pure Dream Reality Seeker physique could use Lead Soul into Dream Killer move and directly make Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord go to sleep. Evidently, even the powerful rank 9 Immortal GU house could not defend against the might of Dream Path. Unless it was an Immortal GU house with Dream Path Immortal GU, normal Immortal GU houses would get lost in the Dream Realm without resistance. This means, this battlefield is not good for Heaven Overseeing Tower to fight. Heaven Overseeing Tower is too big, it is far less agile than GU Immortals fighting alone. Duke Long looked at the growling Zuo Yiwei as light flashed in his eyes. At this moment, Heaven Overseeing Tower returned to solid form as Zuo Yiwei chased after it. Heaven Overseeing Tower turned and accelerated, rushing towards a dream realm. Zuo Yiwei flew in the sky, moving even more quickly. Its huge body was like a black cloud, winds were wild as it moved towards Heaven Overseeing Tower. Oh no, Purple Mountain True Monarch saw this and quickly stopped it. A mystical light flew out and landed on Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower's speed slowed, it became illusory as ripples appeared, like it was the surface of water. Fake, Zuo Yiwei quickly stopped. It almost went into the dream realm. The dream realm was incredibly dangerous to Zuo Yiwei as well. Behind it, the real Heaven Overseeing Tower appeared. He. Duke Long stood at the top of the tower, his dragon eyes looking coldly at a certain place. Purple Mountain True Monarch sighed, knowing that this was a trap. Duke Long was seemingly trying to trap Zuo Yiwei, but the truth was, he wanted to find out Purple Mountain True Monarch's location. But even if Purple Mountain True Monarch knew of Duke Long's plans, he had no choice but to act. Because Zuo Yiwei was too valuable of a fighting force, it could not be lost. Shadow Sect needed it to defend against Heaven Overseeing Tower. Lingering Split Soul of Spectral Soul, HMPH, I will kill him. Fairy Ziwei, go deal with that Super GU formation and kill Fang Yuan. The others will control Heaven Overseeing Tower and leave this place. Zuo Yiwei will surely follow. I do not need success, I just do not want failure. Duke Long ordered, as everyone responded. With the roar of a dragon, Duke Long turned into a mystical light and charged at Purple Mountain True Monarch. Meanwhile, Fairy Ziwei charged at the Super GU formation. Heaven Overseeing Tower brought the Central Continent GU Immortals and flew into the sky, leaving the battlefield. Zuo Yiwei looked at Duke Long, Fairy Ziwei, and finally, Heaven Overseeing Tower. It knew that it was highly restricted in this battlefield because of its size, and because it liked to move around fast. Meanwhile, Heaven Overseeing Tower had an aura that it detested, and was the symbol of Heaven Overseeing Tower. It had a deep desire to destroy this tower. Duke Long flew in the sky, turning into a phantom shadow as he appeared before Purple Mountain True Monarch instantly. He had a tall and majestic body, the dragon horn on his head was sharp and imposing, his dragon pupils revealed dominance and indifference. Boom boom boom, Purple Mountain True Monarch fought Duke Long. A few breaths later, Purple Mountain True Monarch could not fight on par with him, he had to run away. You will die today, Duke Long roared, chasing relentlessly. In the Super GU formation, Fang Yuan was breaking out in cold sweat. He realized that he had fallen into a trap. Heaven's will, it was actually hiding in no, rather than that, Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk to pin size, sweat poured down his face. At this moment, Fairy Ziwei had already arrived in front of the Super GU formation. Fang Yuan calmed himself down, activating the Super GU formation and defending against this enemy. This GU formation is not bad. Fairy Ziwei's eyes shined with purple light, she observed the Super GU formation and nodded. It is a pity, there is a flaw, these GU worms are of different sources, the user of the GU formation is borrowing other people's Immortal GU, but this can be used by me. As she said that, she raised her right hand, which was holding an Immortal GU house. Star Constellation Chessboard. This Immortal GU house was personally created by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, it was possibly the smallest Immortal GU house in the world. When the chessboard was activated, it changed into crystal starlight that filled the sky. Starlight moved around like fireflies, surrounding Fairy Ziwei. Fairy Ziwei's human body was assimilated by this starlight, turning into starlight and joining them. The starlight expanded slightly, pouncing at the Super GU formation. Fang Yuan was already vigilantly waiting, he activated the GU formation and attacked the starlight. But the starlight completely ignored the GU formation's attack, it started to infiltrate the Super GU formation. Originally, this Super GU formation was shining in 4 profound colors of red, green, blue, and black. But now, with the invasion of the starlight, these 4 lights weakened as starlight mixed in. Fang Yuan felt a sense of sluggishness from the Super GU formation. Fang Yuan, you were an otherworldly demon chosen by Heaven's will and tasked to save the people of this world. Even though you destroyed Shadow Sect's heaven-defying plan, you took a wrong step and betrayed the righteous path, entering the demonic path and becoming enemies with the world. If you admit your mistake now and surrender, I will leave you with a complete corpse. I will make a biography for you after death so that your name will go down in history as a lesson for the future. At this time, Fairy Ziwei's voice came from the Super GU formation. Fang Yuan laughed as he said, "This is truly an incredible scheme by Heaven's will." As he said that, he tried to activate the Super GU formation. The GU formation was still under his control, but it was getting incredibly hard to use. Some mortal GU by the fringe were vanishing from Fang Yuan's control. Evidently, Fairy Ziwei was fighting with him over the control of this Super GU formation. Stubborn fool, Fairy Ziwei had a cold voice. Seeing Fang Yuan's struggle, she put in more effort. The starlight shining in the Super GU formation became brighter. Heavenly Court knows my identity, this proves my conjecture. I cannot take back Dark Limit Immortal GU anymore. As time passes, the Super GU formation will go under Heavenly Court's control. What do I do? Do I discard the Super GU formation and activate Reverse Flow Protection Seal to escape? No, Heavenly Court has fought with me before, they definitely know about Reverse Flow Protection Seal. Since they want to eliminate both me and Shadow Sect, how could they not consider the element of Reverse Flow Protection Seal? Heavenly Court wants to see me rely solely on this move. If my killer move is broken, I will face a backlash, I will lose all my battle strength and even die immediately. What should I do? Thoughts moved in Fang Yuan's mind like a huge storm was brewing. It was a desperate situation. Fang Yuan thought of how he could leave the battlefield. There was no way, he could not otherwise escape. His only hope was Reverse Flow Protection Seal. Should I bet that Heavenly Court has no method against Reverse Flow Protection Seal? Fang Yuan had a bitter expression. He knew that the chances were slim in this regard. As for the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle, Fang Yuan did not have heavenly crystals. The upper extreme Heavenly Eagle could not become an immemorial desolate beast. Even if he had a lot of heavenly crystals, an immemorial desolate beast upper extreme Heavenly Eagle may not be under his control. The upper extreme Heavenly Eagle was prideful and only submitted to strong experts. There was a huge chance of betrayal. Just that slight relationship it had with Fang Yuan was fragile and unreliable. There are two ways of stalling. Fang Yuan thought of two methods. The first was to bring out Reverse Flow River and placed himself inside like a fortress. The second was to put himself in his Immortal Aperture, placing in southern border and closing his Immortal Aperture's entrance shut. But both methods only stalled for time, they could not change the situation. If Fang Yuan used these methods, he would be giving up the initiative. This was very dangerous. The only hope in these two methods letting Fang Yuan escape was Southern Border's Righteous Path reinforcements. If Southern Border's GU Immortals could repel Heavenly Court, Fang Yuan might be able to escape. But Heavenly Court was not stupid or weak. The overall strength of Southern Border's Righteous Path was definitely stronger than the group from Central Continent that was here. But whether the reinforcements could handle Heaven Overseeing Tower and Heavenly Court's GU Immortals, that was uncertain. Even if they won and Heavenly Court was chased away, could Fang Yuan continue to be Wu Yihai? How could that be possible? Since Heavenly Court knew his identity, they just needed a few words to get Southern Border to turn on Fang Yuan. Wu Yihai's identity could not last if the entire Southern Border Righteous Path was investigating it.